Hmm. What would make the most character sense? I don't know. I imagine I'm probably a decent cook.
I mean, if you smash the food enough, yeah.
Yeah. Although wood carving might make sense too.
Would it?
Um, well, she's got a club. I guess
Yeah, but she didn't want to
I just
mark that club
associated.
up, remember?
No, I know. I just associated. Well, she's got a wooden club, and wood carving has the word wood in it. I guess maybe I'm not thinking clearly. Okay, at the risk of spending too much time on this, I'm just going to select. What did I select? Cooking, I think, is what I selected.
Sounds good. I'm
Now,
expecting a 5-course meal at some point.
I'm hoping that I can do that. Yeah.
Goji's going to invent the smashed burger.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Um,
I mean, you've got the deep broth down here.
Complete your character. Take the following steps: review warnings and return to previous sections to resolve. Review character to make sure everything looks right. Click the save button. I don't see any warnings, but I'm also not seeing where I choose my maneuvers. Do I do that maybe outside of leveling up?
It may give it to you.
Give me all my things.
And I confirmed. I saved it. All right. I did it. Did it right. Okay. Shall I recap us on what happened previously?
Yes, please.
Okay. So at the start of our last session, we were approaching Wrath Hunter's shop with the purpose of using the ink that we got from the market and Goji's club to upgrade her weapon. We were dealing with some traps, the first of which was a log that came down from the ceiling and hit Goji and Vrisdan and somehow managed to heal Goji. We walked a little bit further, stepped on a few stones that made clicking sounds, and then we're on the lookout for those, although nothing seemed to happen when the stones clicked. We explored the area around the area approaching the shop and found another trap which was labeled a long cut, which was like a kind of shimmering tarp-like surface that was camouflaged to look like the floor of the passage that we were in. And when we removed the tarp, we saw that there were spikes at the bottom of the pit. Vrisdan, I think, climbed down, right? And was looking around at the bottom of the pit. I don't remember. There was something that we took out of it. There were little stones or something? Mike, you'll have to remind me. I thought we took something from the bottom of the pit.
Vrisdan decided to jump down with his shield underneath him and into the pit to find that there was a bale of hay underneath a tarp, all covered by little glow stones in order to fake anybody looking down to see potentially spikes at the bottom.
Yeah, okay. And there was also that kind of glowing large geode that was supposed to be the enticement to get you to step into the trap, right? And I think we took a stone or two, maybe we each took one from the geode.
Mm-hmm. You each got, I believe, 200 golds worth fistful
That's
of
right.
amethysts.
Yes, thank you. Let's see. So then we went a little bit further and found a wooden door that we assumed was the way into Wrath Hunter's shop. But when we approached the door, I don't remember if we triggered something. But, oh yeah, we did. We tried to open it. It was locked, and numbers started appearing on the door. A plaque that kind of clicked down to the next number below it, counting down from 5 to 0. So we all retreated down the corridor. And there was not an explosion, but just somebody, I think, screaming the word boom and then laughing. So we being thoroughly confused by all the traps we had already encountered to this point, we opened the door to the next room, went inside, and found a kobold who ended up being the trapsmith. His name was Buart, and he was wearing on his belt a small cage with a live skunk inside, which seemed to be a deterrent from us just kicking his ass because we were aggravated at him. He went out the door to go, I guess, reset the traps that we had triggered, and we were all so very aggravated with him that we closed the door, locked it, and then going into the space a little bit further, we saw a small little crawl space that he presumably used to get in and out. So we moved one of the stone benches in front of it and blocked it. So the thinking being that he has no way in or out of the shop again. But anyway, went further into the shop, met Wrathhunter, and he did not seem at all confused about having visitors, or that his traps had gone off, or that his kobold was aggravating and locked outside. He explained to Goji how he was going to use the ink on her club, and then after a pretty long and involved process, her club was upgraded to the fulminating, I think it's called the fulminating great club. And in addition, she also got to keep in a small wrapping the thorns that were removed from her club in the process of upgrading it. Meanwhile, Futon and Vrisdan took the opportunity to relax in Wrathhunter's living quarters upstairs. Let me think. I'm trying to remember what happened next. I think we all took a little bit of rest after the club was completed. And then we talked to Wrathhunter we asked him questions about what we should be doing next. And I think we already knew that we were going to be going to the Durgar city. He provided us directions to get there, I think. He told us there was a secret way in, and he gave us a token or some kind of signifier that we could provide to other members of his guild, which he thought there would be some in the city that they would probably let us, in the slums outside the city, that if we can connect with them and provide them the token, they might be able to help us get into the city proper. Let's see. He also provided 3 tokens. I'm reading through your notes here, Mike, as we go. 3 tokens of his crafting unit in order to aid not outright being attacked by the inhabitants of the city due to Vrisdan's race. Oh, okay, that's right. Okay, so we continued on our journey, left Wrathhunter's place. We encountered one more trap on our way out, which was a literal bear trap, but not the kind you're thinking of. It was a trap where a bear would have fallen from the ceiling and landed on top of us, and we found out that it was actually a live bear because we saw the kobold tending to it. I think it was maybe feeding it or grooming it before we moved on. While we were going through a passage on our way back to Mental Dareth, we heard voices ahead and encountered a small group of Zvarts. Is that how you say their race name?
Close enough.
Little purple shrivelly guys, and they had packs of rats and bats. And they were speaking in a language that we couldn't understand, I don't believe. And they couldn't understand us, or at least they acted like they couldn't understand us. And things got a little tense, almost came to blows, but we decided to back off and not instigate anything. So we left them and proceeded to Dark Lake. We got a ferry ride back to the Koatoa village. And when we arrived there, we found out that our old friend Legume had been promoted, I believe, to a better ferry route because we had, given him a good Yelp review. So another free ride got us to sail to an island surrounded by, I'm reading directly from Mike's summary here, to an island surrounded by dangerous water flows in order to get to the other side to reach another ferry in order to reach a dock close to Gracklestug, which is the Durgar city. We found ourselves blocked by a pair of crocodiles. We fought them very briefly, and it was not even much of a challenge to put them down. And that's, I think, what gave us the XP that allowed us to level 3. And I think that's where we ended. Looking like we were going to be continuing west to try to find the ferry to Gracklestug.
Yep, that's it.
Sounds
Thank
right.
you very much, Pam.
All right.
Yep.
Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for the helpful summary.
Yeah. If everybody's ready, like Pem said, you guys found yourselves empowered, finding new strengths within yourselves, and unlocking some hidden depths to your skills that you did not know of previously. And as you bask in this, the Kuatua looks back to you and waves his little arm and beckons you further west, presumably to where the other ferry dock is.
Okay.
Okay. So as you all gather yourselves, you briefly peruse the crocodiles. You don't really see anything worth taking unless you wanted to sit there and strip their hides.
Nah,
But,
I don't think that's necessary.
And you see that they were just chilling on the bankside, just basking in the ambience warmth that is derived from the moss, the energy of the moss on the cavern ceiling up above. Some kind of pseudo sun that allows them to bask in this underground. And you leave the area and follow your Kuatua guide. And as Legume proceeds onward, you see that indeed the further away from the island that you look, you see that the water is more unsettled and churning, and possibly the reason that the docks were set up as they were. You finally reach the other side of the little island and find a very similar dock as the one that you left not too long ago, with a little platform of the receptacle to the little ferry that they use. And you all board, and Legume proceeds to ferry you across the rest of the way.
All right.
And I don't know if there's more pirate songs or anything that you guys want to be doing, but as you are being ferried, about 10 minutes into your journey from the dock, you begin to smell a very potent fish smell. One much more spoiled than the one that you experienced back in the Kuatua village. It's very potent, very fragrant, and as you start to look around trying to figure out what it is, you start to see this massive island to your north. Well, I say north, but the characters themselves wouldn't know. To your right, you see this massive island that is not actually an island. There seems to be like some kind of figure that is massive and seemingly like an island. And it's actually against an actual island that's much smaller than it. And as you look at it and gaze in wonder, Legume notices your... welcome back. Legume notices... No worries. Legume notices your distraction and looks to where you're looking. And with certain recognition, he addresses to Vrisdan.
Oh boy, my favorite part of the game. Let's go right into it. Hell yeah. Here we go. Well, congratulations, gang. We've discovered the Lake Lords. One of them.
Whoa.
This one's been dead for a while, he says.
It's been dead. So, sorry, I must have missed something in Mike's description. Are we looking at a giant corpse?
That's what he is starting to tell you. Yes.
Ah, okay.
Because it's a very big figure that's protruding out of the water. You cannot really distinctly see from the position of the ferry yet. It's starting to get closer. And it seems to be leaning against a much smaller island in comparison to it.
Weird.
Do you all have anything for me to ask him, or
I was
are we
wondering
ready
if
to start?
the conversation was still going on, or no?
Sorry, I was typing.
Oh, okay. Yep, there it is.
And as he says this, your craft comes closer, and I don't know if Vrisdan points out to Goji and Futon, but you can actually see little woodworks along the side of the figure, seemingly a large, very large, fish-like creature that is leaning up against the island, and it is clearly dead. And around the little island, you see little kuatoas going about this business, harvesting, it seems, from this creature. And as you pass by, you see that towards where the middle of the figure, and that is almost submerged by the water, there is a massive gouging wound, seemingly like a bite, presumably whatever killed this creature.
There's always bigger fish.
Okay. Weird. So it's only recently been killed, yes? Or, like recently enough that it's not rotted away to a skeleton.
Okay. If presuming that you're asking Vrisdan to ask him.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. I was just wondering if it's something that we can tell from looking at it, or do we need an explanation from Legume?
Legume says that the village has known about this one's being dead for a couple of weeks, a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
Does he know what killed it? Because that's something we should be concerned about.
And as he says this, he keeps pulling away with no real concern on his face, set on the normal ferry path on your way to Grextel.
Okay. Is he recommending that we check it out? Or is he just like, oh, and on your, is this like when you're on a plane and they're like, if you look out your left window, you'll see the Grand Canyon?
You can take it as you will. Currently, the ferry is not going to the island. It's passing it by and going on your way.
Ah. To suggest bad news. Okay. Yeah, I think, unless Legume is literally steering us toward this thing. I'm taking this as just some setting flavor. And maybe foreshadowing. But I don't feel like we need to go over there and check out this rotting monstrous fish.
Okay. And so you bear witness to the old adage come true, as Futon said, there's always a bigger fish, and pass by the island and leave its stench behind and wonder at what possibly could be big enough in this very deep, large black lake caused this to happen. And if you're entirely safe on this ferry and you sail away and you proceed on your way, and finally, after about another half hour of being ferried, you reach another dock being approached to. And as you approach it, you can see directly in front of you and a little to the right that there is this massive opening in the cavern that reveals this city of stonework and metal. And at the very edge of the lake, you see dockworks, all being manned by very gaunt and very shaky figures. And past the dock itself, you see a line of rickety but very manned, shall we say, boats. Ships would not count, considering that there is no wind to propel them down here. But all throughout the lake in front of the city, there is a barricade of these ships, all having within them figures of the height of Durgar, and seemingly not willing to allow any kind of passage into the city. And as you see this, you see that Legume is indeed not approaching the city, instead of going to the dock where the Kotor are permitted to do their ferry service. And you approach the lakeside of dock, and as you disembark, you find that Legume actually disembarks along with you, presumably to wish you on your way.
Okay. Can I throw Legume another gold piece?
You certainly can.
That's
And
what I do.
when you do so, he gives a few more hops and gives you a few more bows and thanks you profusely in his undercommon tongue. And then he turns to Vrisdan and he says,
And that is all Vrisdan has to say. Goji, you really don't need to tip as well as you do.
Yeah, no, I just don't have change.
And as he says this last goodbye to you, you feel a little chill down your spine, Brisden. You don't know exactly where it's coming from, but you don't like the idea of it.
Hmm.
And with his extra gold for the donation to his lord Umvalup in hand, he gets back on his ferry and proceeds to sail away back towards his Kuoto village.
Wonder if we'll ever see him again.
And as you all watch him sail away, you look around and you see that you are in a part of the Dark Lake where the wall along the outside of the lake is mostly to your southern viewpoint and ending towards your west. All of it leading away from where you came from and ending around and throughout the city of the Durgars, Graxtool, the city of the Blades. And you also see that along the lakeside, you see plenty of mushroom growths, and dark gray stone, and you can also see that there are little mini caves, not deeply protruding into the wall, that seem to be used as some kind of caves of growth for farms, as presumably they cannot be maintained inside the city walls themselves. And presuming that you all decide to march towards the city, as you march inward, you see that there are more of these little caves and little plots of farming land between actual mushrooms grown for food. You also see other kinds of plant life and more normal seeming foodstuffs being grown. You also see deep growth being handled by not only Durgar, but you also see Darrow being used as servants to handle the more menial labor. And as you get closer to the city, you see that the um, the stock and the quality of the food being grown outside the city becomes better as more actual slaves are being used. You see humans and elves and other creatures such as deep gnomes being used by more heavy-handed and set, uh, more well-to-do Durgar who have the means to have uh, these slaves, as they are closer to the city, having their own guards to manage them. And finally, as you get close enough to the city, you begin to smell a different kind of smell, one of sewage and waste. And you see that you are coming close to a part of the city that could be described as a slum, and potentially the location that you were told by Brumrule, where you could potentially find a green lever that would allow passage into the city.
Okay. And is there anybody standing guard at the door or no?
Uh, you haven't found that yet. You're still outside on on the outer part of the city, and let me go ahead and get the map ready. Okay, I shared the map, and let me know if you have problems remembering how all the tools work.
Oh, I can see it.
I can only see black.
I could for a second, and then it
There we
loaded.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Loaded in.
You should be able to move your tokens.
Yes.
Okay, so let's not go too fast, but you guys
Mhm.
can move around as you wish for now. And as you look around, you can see that along the walls that you can see pipework and presumably ways to manage the sewage that is being drained from the city. And as you cross the cavern tunnel walls, you see in front of you that there is the lakeside of the Dark Lake. And in the dark black water, you can see that there is a um, rainbow-like hue, presumably oil, that's mixing into the water itself.
Okay.
And
Clearly runoff from the city, or can we tell?
presumably, yes,
Okay.
or whatever is being used on their little boats, the docks that is further up the lake that you cannot access.
Okay. Hmm. Is there any indication of, like, there's no signs or anything telling us what direction we might want to head?
You do not see any actual signs, but as you get closer to the beach side, about where Futon is, you can hear noises of um the populace towards your north.
Okay. And so we're officially in the city walls proper, within the city walls, yes?
No, you're still outside the city walls. Currently, the city of Graxtool is locked down due to the fact that they're at war with the drow, and you are currently trying to find a way in.
Oh,
And
okay.
Bromrule suggested that you go to the slum area
Yeah,
outside the walls, where you could potentially find a lever that would open a hidden wall, allowing you access in.
that's right. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that where this map was us finding that lever and going through the door into the walls, but I misunderstood.
No, I probably said that badly. um, but yeah, you can hear a noise of people doing stuff to your north. You can see that the lake is more opened out to your east, and you
Mhm.
can see uh, items being held for transportation, items like produce and other kinds of materials of trade being boxed up and all that. You can see, I don't have them on the map itself yet, but you can see other slaves that I mentioned before handling these packages. They're just going around through their duties. You can also see some low-ranking Darrow managing these specific slaves.
Okay. What are Darrow? I'm sorry.
They are a type of dwarfkin, but not actually Duergar, that also been affected by mind flares. Let
Ooh,
me draw up a picture of it.
gross.
NPCs. So that should have drawn something up for
Yeah.
you.
All
So
right.
that's what a normal Darrow looks like. They're kind of like dwarves. but
Yeah.
most dwarves won't recognize them as kin. They tend to be kind of suspicious of others in singles. They are not very threatening as a horde. You should be scared for your life.
Okay.
Um,
And they're
They will-
Mind Flayer thralls, or
they were
okay.
just like the Durgar were.
Okay.
They broke away from that.
Got it. All right. Cool. Thank you. Well, gang, we hear noises to the north. Should we venture north?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to take it nice and slow and wait for everybody to be around me before I barrel on in.
As you go
Does anyone
north,
want more hit points?
I believe Goji. Oh no, let's just go ahead and say that
I think I'm
You
still
have-
3. I think I've got missing 3 hit points from injury. from
Yeah.
something.
let me just. No.
It's my turn.
Legume gets a
No.
turn.
No, it's not. Crap. The stupid. There we go.
Oh, I didn't want to use that. I wanted to read that.
Okay. You guys have all your spells
yep.
and you're rested.
Okay.
All right. Now that we got that out of the way, does anyone want more hit points?
I mean, we're approaching the slum, I presume, right? Are we
Best place to use those hit points?
Yeah, that's probably true. We probably
You
We
never
could,
know what might
donate
affect
them
you.
to the poor people.
might. I was gonna say we might have to crack some skulls, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Mm.
5
Okay.
extra hit points worth of skull cracking.
Yeah, sure. Hit me.
Okay. Let me just target everybody and see if it works. Do I have to click this to do it? Hey.
Hey. 2 Vrisdan,
Okay, so
2
Fantasy
Futon, 2
Grounds has
Goji.
to do it as temporary hit points, but the spell just increases your maximum hit points for 8 hours. You guys played Baldur's Gate 3. You probably know how this works,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's 8.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah, just remember, those temporary hit points aren't temporary
Right.
until 8 hours have passed.
Okay.
Then they're temporary.
I can
Because
see it
they're-
on your character sheets.
Yeah, I noticed it.
Yeah.
As you march northward and going through the tunnel, you see that past the little pipe that you can see that there's part of the cave tunnel is broken by a actual wall made by some race, presumably the Durgar. You can see that there is no access past it, but you can see that presumably this is a wall leading into the slum area. And to your right, you can also see that there is a door.
Yeah. Okay. No lever on this door, right? We aren't that
No.
far yet. Okay.
As for the lever, I don't know if you guys remember, but Bramrul did tell you it was a green lever that was hidden
Okay.
in the maintenance room somewhere in the maintenance room of the sewage control within
Okay.
the slum district.
Man, he knew everything, this guy. All right. Well, do we want to... I think the door is where we need to go. Do we want to explore a little bit more out here before we try it? What's everyone feeling? I can see you're all really enthusiastic to say something.
They're
Sorry,
just
I
jumping
was
at the
looking
bits, man.
I forgot. I gained some spell because I'm a drow that I was looking at. You know how I love my
Try it.
spell.
Mm-hmm.
You said try
It's
it
rather,
out?
Yeah.
it is rather enchanting. I
mean,
believe,
how could I say no to a stupid, sexy door?
yeah, I believe you should be able to open the door yourselves if you click on it.
Well, I sure can.
Should we knock
Am I
first?
trying it?
Go for it.
You want me to knock? I'll knock.
Yeah, let's knock. It seems like something we would try.
I
Mhm.
knock. I cast
Uh,
resistance to myself first, though.
Okay,
You never
as you're
know.
doing that, you hear that the other side, there's a hollow kind of echoing noise as if reverberating off metal, and you don't hear a response.
Okay. I think maybe safe to try it now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure thing. If I could click it, let's go. Oh, it's narrow. There we go.
Ta-da!
As you open it inward, you see that the room reveals a set of pipes and levers and gears, all seemingly in connection to the area further within the walls. And you can see that this is connected outside of the slum district. And as you look around the room, you can see that there is a pipe large enough to fit one of you if you crouched, with its venting cover being removed.
That's this one at the south end of the room?
Yes. As you
Alright.
approach it,
Uh-oh.
you get this the smell of not sewage itself. You smell strong amount of oil and other kinds of synthetic smells.
And is that puddle on the northeast side of the room, is that oil or some kind of residue from something?
As you take a closer look at it, you see that it is a unattended spillage of oil, seemingly that's been leaking from one of the pipes that's over it. Presumably, nobody has come to this section of the cave in a while to actually do
Clean it
maintenance
up.
on this.
Okay. If I poke my head in the pipe, can I determine anything about its distance, or is there a light source further in?
You look in, and as you hold your breath to
Yeah.
not be affected by the smell of oil in your nose, you see that it is very dark, but at the very edge of your vision, you see that it seems to be a T intersection at the very end of it.
Okay. So no light source, but my dark vision is able to perceive that far? Is that
Yes.
okay? So Futon would have more difficulty seeing, right?
Yes, currently I believe I set it so he can see within the actual tunnels.
Okay.
Right, Futon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need to worry about? Maybe this is too much chemistry for a dumb orc, but do we need to worry about like methane with the sewage and stuff? If we have an open flame in here, are we gonna blow ourselves to bits?
Yeah, that was what I was concerned about.
I would assume that everybody here, all three actual characters, are aware of the effects of fire with oil.
Okay. Well, gang, what do you think? I don't know if this tunnel is this pipe. Crawling through this pipe might not be more attractive than exploring the rest of the area. We saw a door, but that might not necessarily be where we want to go.
Yeah, we can explore first.
I think so
See if
too.
any other options?
That pipe does not look like fun.
Okay.
Well, remember it's there though.
Yeah.
You guys think this way, west, or should we go south and explore along the water?
Oh, I can see water through this tunnel, so
Yeah.
I bet they both kind of link up together.
Oh yeah.
We could split up, gang.
Nah.
Well, we've got 5 extra hit points.
Yeah,
You want
that's
to put them
true.
to waste?
We're practically immortal.
And as you reach that intersection of the tunnel, two Your immediate left, you see that it does indeed open up into the dark lake once again,
Mhm.
and you can see how the oil is affecting even the black water there. And to your right and up, you can see that there is actually a break in that man-made wall, and within it, you can see the actual streets of presumably the slums you've been looking for.
Yeah, look at that.
And as you look in, you can see that this area also has that same black water that's being mixed with the oil that's being discarded, and all of it causing this rainbow effect that you would normally see in such interactions between water and oil.
What do you think? West or north?
I vote north.
Okay.
This looks interesting.
Okay.
Oh, did I just hop across the water? I don't guess I... Maybe I can just... Do you think it's near enough you can just jump across it?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
And as you open up into this
Wow.
little dock, small little shanty area of the slums, you can see that there are a grouping of little kobolds, goblins, and other minor, let's say, minor castes of slaves that live here. And for now, I'll say to not move around
Okay.
so much. You look around and you don't see any actual guards or these slaves that live here in this part of the slum district. And you can see that there are different rooms that are closed off currently around you and around this little area. And as you're looking around, you hear this air. You can basically hear the complete lack of will to change the lives of these people. They're so dead set in their position in life due to whatever means that the Durgar have enslaved them. And as you are gazing around and taking in what there is, Vrisdan, can you tell me where it is that you keep your Loth script?
It was a necklace, right?
It is a talisman.
An amulet, a talisman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be on my neck.
Okay. As you are looking around and you are looking, let's say you're looking directly northward, you feel as you're looking a slight tug around your neck, and you're a little bit confused, and you look down, but you don't see anything. So you gaze back up and you continue to peruse around yourself. And suddenly, this tugging feeling that you felt becomes not just a tug. You are literally pulled down to the ground by whatever force that's being pulled around your neck.
Hmm.
And
I didn't mean to go big. I meant to turn. Boom. Ow.
and as you fall to the ground, you
Whoa.
do not see anything, but you feel this intense wave of energy and heat pass over your head and into the wall that was behind you.
Oh shit, guys! I'm in menopause. I had a hot flash. This is gonna suck as an adventurer.
It might be time to retire.
And, and as your companions look to you and see how you suddenly fell to the ground, they also notice that wave of energy, to them appearing this beam of blue light coming from the opposite side of this room. Smash where where Vrisdan's head would have been, had he not fallen.
Good grief.
And as you, I assume Vrisdan stands back up, and as Goji and Futon look to the source of whatever beam this was, they look and see that there is this female drow standing upon a ledge high above where you could be in this room. And this drow is one of great beauty, having white tresses and wearing a robe of deep red in deep contrast to her dusky skin. And you can see a passing familiarity to the female drow who is the leader of the house that had previously enslaved you.
Faye Branch, right?
Yes.
Oh,
House Frey Branch.
yeah.
Frey Branch. And sorry.
I was gonna say, could you just like ping on the map where this high up spaces that she's at? Is it like northeast?
Yeah. It would be 1 second. No, wait, that's not what I wanted. There we go.
Oh,
you
way
see
over
over
there.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
And as you all gaze upon her and notice where she is, this drow, with a clear look of surprise on her face, addresses Vrisdan in a loud enough voice to carry throughout the room, where all the other slaves have started to crouch down and just hope to not be noticed. And she says, "Well, that's surprising. Rather limber, aren't you? Color me impressed." And as she looks away from Vrisdan to you two as well, she further comments, "Good to see that Alaric has a good eye for people after all." Oh.
Alaric was the name of someone. Is Alaric the person that initially hired us? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Alaric Shadowbane is the person that hired
That's
you
right.
to hunt the Etten.
And was Alaric a drow? No, Alaric was just a regular lady, a human, right?
Yes, Alaric was a human female.
Regular. I try not to use such human-centric.
I know. I realized that as I said it. I was like, I hope I better correct that.
A little insulting here.
Yep.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Did you know that human adventurers get paid 30% more than non-human adventurers?
I did not know that. That's not fair at all.
Yeah.
Seems like you're reinforcing some negative stereotypes
I
here.
think you're right. Oh, and
As an elf, I feel insulted right
and
now.
I was the one who was saying that we were bringing gay space communism, and look at me.
Yeah, look at what you started,
you know,
man.
we all make mistakes. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We all have our prejudices.
I know you don't believe that, and that's what's important.
It was a slip of the tongue. Don't cancel me.
Okay.
All right. Well, Goji, because it seems like this woman is hostile, Goji's going to unshoulder her crossbow. She's not going to take aim or anything, but she's got it at the ready, because what the hell?
Okay. All right. Seeing that you have prepared yourself, but not taking any kind of action, Affin continues on saying, "Now then, since we each have each other's attention, why don't we all just calmly walk away from this drag heap of a city and come on back to Menzoberranzan? You all know that you have no place outside of your yoke."
Oh,
And
I like this lady.
as she says this, can I have a perception roll from you three?
Gladly. Love a good roll. Can't fault Vrisdan for poor perception, given he just had to pick himself up off the ground.
I know, right?
I got dust in my eyes.
You can only do so much. Goji, as you have already gotten yourself into this prepared stance, you're already alert and everything. You notice to the left side of the massive room where there is an opening further out towards the west,
Mm-hmm.
you see a shadow of a flying figure fleeing away down that way.
The shadow retreats down that passage further
Mhm.
away. Okay. And
1
does this mysterious drow woman pay that direction any? Yeah, thank you. Does this mysterious drow woman pay that direction any attention while this is happening?
She give me an insight roll.
Oh damn! It almost got to
As far
14.
as you are aware, she has constant vision on you.
Um, do we know what form of energy that bluish bolt was that went toward Vrisdan's head? Was it like we presume that she fired a spell at him or something, right?
Yes, Les. Okay, we're doing checks this episode. Give me an Arcana roll.
Oh,
Whoever
God.
wants to do it.
I think I'm terrible at that, so if somebody else wants to, feel free.
I forget.
Damn.
Vrisdan's got it. Damn, you both got it pretty good.
Okay.
You forget, but he's a smart cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Smart enough to know what happened when he's not even looking. You can tell that the bluish hue and the spell that was done upon you is not one of a clerical nature, which is a common role taken by female drow.
Could
So
you...
presumably,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
if she is indeed the one that fired upon you, she is not a cleric.
Could you remind us the last thing that she said? Was she telling us we should each go our separate, or I can't remember what she said. I'm sorry.
I'll just
We
say
should
it
come
again.
back with her
Yep.
to Menzo Barans and
Oh, well, yeah, fuck that. No, we're not doing that.
Okay. Do you have any other checks you want to do?
Check if I can shoot her in the skull.
If you want to initiate combat, yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think, like, why would we not... She's clearly hostile. Something... She or some associate of hers fired something at Vrisdan's head, and it was only by virtue of a magic amulet he has that he doesn't have a gaping hole in his skull. And she's...
Well, how about I'll just continue on what she was going to say.
There you go. Yeah, let's let the
Mm-hmm.
the text will make the decision for us.
Yeah. Bad enough that I had to find you lot out on the surface. Now I have to clean up mother's mess and drag you back to your rightful roles under my boot. If you submit now, it won't be as painful for you. Maybe you will even escape the need to be of a sacrifice, and I might find it within my heart to allow you to serve me as my own servants. What is one slave in place of another of more use after all?
I'm in total favor of killing this lady. Not only does she want to make us slaves again, but it seems like she's the daughter of the main evil drow lady, who's... I don't know if we know her name or not.
How closely do you think Goji was paying attention to what Alaric was saying?
I mean, yeah, Alec's got Goji's undivided attention, except for that fluttering shadow on the retreating.
No. Alaric.
Oh,
back in
Alaric
session
Shadowbane.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I can't imagine that Goji remembers much of what she said beyond, hi, and you're getting paid to fight in Etten. That was probably about it.
Then no, you don't know what this lady's name is. Unless somebody else wants to say that their character would remember.
No, I don't. Wait, I'm talking about the main drow lady who...
Oh, the main
enslaved
drow
us.
lady.
I don't know if we learned her name or not.
Yes, you do know that she is called... I had it up. Now I feel stupid. You do recall that her name was Tizraf Fey branch.
Okay. Say her first name again.
Tizrath.
Okay. All right. But we don't. This presumably is her daughter. We don't know her daughter's name. Goji is going to shout toward this lady. We're not. There's no possibility we're going to be your slave ever again.
I'm sorry. Could you say that again? I was reading what
No.
Vrisdan said.
That's okay. Goji's going to shout to her. We'll never be your slaves again.
And as you both say your piece, she sneers a little bit more contemptuously to Vrisdan, and she did not like that comment. And she says, "Well, you can keep your lady's faith for all good it does you. Now, if you're not gonna come with me willingly, I'll just have to put you down and drag you back after all." And as she says this, you can see that she is seemingly concentrating. You can see that her eyes are not as focused, and you can hear that there is sound coming from the tunnel that Goji noticed a shadow going down.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not loving what we're about to have to do here, but okay. Is it the flying shadow, or I'm just hearing the sound?
Yes,
We're just
yes.
hearing the sound.
You saw a flying shadow going down that tunnel. Now
Yeah.
you hear noises coming from that tunnel.
Okay.
And as her focus clears back and looks upon you again, she smiles in that way that you know that somebody believes they have the upper hand. And she
Yeah.
takes a few steps back so that she is not in direct line of sight, and just watches as from the tunnel you see this massive figure of an ogre step out, and upon its back there seems to be a structure. And as you look upon it, you start to realize that you recognize this ogre as the one that you saw back at the Goblin Fort in Dark Lake.
When Vrisdan got his ass absolutely handed to him, yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah. And as he marches out of the tunnel, you can hear that there are actually figures on the structure on its back, and you see these goblins stick up their heads over the barricade that they're hiding behind on top of the ogre. And you also see that one other figure is behind the ogre, not actively coming out of the tunnel, but you recognize it to be the same hobgoblin that beat Vrisdan up.
Revenge!
And can I go ahead and have a initiative roll, please?
Yes, you may.
And you guys can go ahead and position yourselves where you want to be.
Okay. I'm gonna say I'm. Presumably the watery, oily mix is non-traversable, right? It's probably too deep for us to wade through.
No, actually, it is not that deep.
Okay.
Because of the oil distorting the colors of the Dark Lake, you can see that there is very faintly a bottom, and it's not that deep in.
Okay. I think all the same, I'll probably try to avoid stepping in it, but if needed, it's a possibility. Okay. And whereabouts? You said they're coming from right over here. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Are the walkways that we're on right now so narrow that we wouldn't be able to pass each other?
No.
Okay.
I would say that if you wanted to, you could pass each other by.
Okay, so if like Futon charges and wants to get by me, I don't have to get out of his way first.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Let's see here.
You were thinking ahead with that aid spell, Vrisdan. Well done.
Thank you.
And oh damn. And the lady drow she's retreated out of line of sight, you said, right?
Correct. And the hobgoblin is not directly visible because he is being blocked by an ogre much larger than him. And seemingly he is not coming out of the tunnel, just watching to ensure that his mercenaries do their job.
That ogre image is really cool looking. I dig it.
Yeah, it's from the
Handbook?
Monster manual of Monsters of the Multiverse. It's one of the monsters I had it add into the actual system.
Very cool.
I love those teeth.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I love those teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good whoever. Since we have a big pull, I'm sure, with the Wizards of the Coast artists who watch these videos on Pem's channel. Whoever drew this one, if you're listening, well done.
Well done.
That's
Very
pretty
well
dope.
done. Yep.
The rest of you slackers, you could pick it up.
Can I ask a logistical combat question?
Sure.
Will we be able to? So the goblins are on top of the structure. We probably can't melee attack the goblins until we killed the ogre, right?
I am so glad you asked because I was about to talk about it.
Okay.
So I'm about to post the cover mechanics that we have not gone into that D&D 5th edition has. So in 5th edition, there are cover mechanics. You can either be half covered, 3/4 covered, or total covered. In the tabletop channel, I posted it. And these goblins are currently on the back of the ogre in their little barricades. And while they're in there, they have three-quarters cover.
Crap.
So you could do ranged attack to them, either with actual ranged or spells, but they will have a +5 AC on them. Meanwhile, they can do whatever they want to you from that height advantage.
Yeah.
How you take this combat is up to you.
Presumably they won't be able to melee attack us from up there unless it's like a long spear or something, right?
Yes, but from what you can see, they do not appear to be wielding any long spears in their hands.
Okay. And is the ogre standing on the catwalk, or is the ogre in the water already?
He took a big step off the walkway into the water and is making a direct path to the docks.
Okay.
And as you look around, the slaves that are in your immediate vicinity have hidden their little huts and are trying to stay out of the way of combat. Seemingly, this does not seem to be an unnatural happenstance here.
Oh, all right. Poor guys. Okay, I think I'm where I want to be for now.
Okay, let me
Got my
just
crossbow
go ahead
out.
and do my initiative rolls.
Well, I think Goji's going to just shout to her party, ogre first.
Get out of my head, Pem.
Tell me that the ogres is the 1 or 5.
That's
Please-
what it looks like in the
Please not
combat
the
tracker.
15. Oh, I don't have that open. Hang on. There it is.
I do have that open because I think
Phew.
it's easier for me to target
Yeah.
people there sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've found as well. Okay. So it looks like we got a goblin first.
Yeah, a little jerk.
True.
So there was something. The shadow that I saw was a flying shadow. This is out of character. So whatever that was, either retreated or is still lurking. Great.
Yeah, you have not seen any kind of flying figure or any figure that is small enough to seem to give the shadow that you saw
Mhm.
exit that tunnel.
Okay. And has the hobgoblin joined combat, or is he just going to hang back?
Currently, he is hanging back
What a jerk.
because I'll be honest, out of character, I don't know how much I can throw at you guys without killing you.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
So let's see here.
Sorry, just a point of leveling up following up on the level up. So the maneuvers, I must have been looking at a list of maneuvers online before we started the gaming session that had extra maneuvers, because two of the ones I was going to take are not in the list here in Fantasy. What the hell is this called? Fantasy Grounds.
Fantasy Ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've only got the player's handbook, and there are some added in.
Yeah.
I think Xanthar's Guide to Everything, and some other
So
cautions, whatever.
I've got Riposte, but I'm going to need to read through and see which other two I want to take.
Okay.
That's unrelated to what we're talking about, though. Go ahead.
Do you need help with it or no?
No. I think I can. It'll just take me a second. So it's good that I'm going last of the three of us.
Okay. I mean, we can.
I'm going to be so quick on my turn just to catch you off guard now.
We can
I'm already
stop
done,
real quick
actually.
if you
Skip
need
me.
to, man.
No. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind pausing.
Oh, yeah.
As a fighter, I love looking through maneuvers. So
We
if
could-
you want to pause,
Yeah,
make sure you pick
we
up
could take
this.
a break. That sounds like a good idea.
I love that shit.
Okay.
We're
Let's
about.
go ahead and let's go ahead and take about 10-minute break, and I'll be here if you need my help, Pam.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
I'll
just
step
gonna be
away
looking
first, and
maneuvers.
then I'll let you know when I'm back.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
one of the ones I'm taking is Riposte. That one I think makes sense. One, I think I'll take Pushing Attack. Because even though it's freaking huge, being able to knock that ogre over would be pretty freaking cool.
That would be.
Let me just read this really quick. Or no, maybe I'm not thinking of pushing. Maybe I'm thinking of tripping. Tripping attack. Yeah, here we go. Strength saving throw. Okay. So, riposte, tripping attack. Do you guys remember what kind of debuffs the frightened status have?
They have disadvantage on attack rolls and probably other stuff while they can see you.
Okay. Only against me or against everyone?
Anybody. They can't.
Anybody.
They suck at everything because you're there spooking them out,
Hmm.
scaring them. Yeah, that's a good one. Menacing is what
Yeah.
you're looking at.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
what I
like
was looking
that
at.
one.
Yeah. That's I think what I'm tempted by disarming attack too, but
A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
okay, then that's what I'm gonna do. Menacing attack, riposte, and trip attack.
Sounds good.
You're a fighter after my own heart, Pem.
Mhm.
You should be able to just add it into your thing by making a new entry, if you want to keep track of it that way.
Saying 1 second. Let me just. I'm typing it in so that I remember what I took. Menacing attack, riposte, and trip. Added into where? To my actions list?
Or to your features, whichever one.
Well, on the actions
Oh, I
list,
see. I see
I
your
can
action.
actually
Okay.
click a use power button next to it. I'm thinking when I roll, I'll use that button and hopefully it does what I think it's supposed to do.
Yeah, that should
Yeah,
be
that's
it.
where all my
Just-
class stuff ends up.
Yeah.
Then just keep track of which ones you chose. That should be enough.
Yep. Yeah, I did that. So as long as I don't take, as long as I don't cheat and take one I didn't choose,
Yeah, right.
and I got to
Who would
remember I
do
have
that?
action
Snitch if
surge
you do.
and second wind, so that'll be cool. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I don't. Did Adam? Yeah, Adam stepped away too. Okay. Oh, combat playlist. Yeah.
Oh snap!
I haven't been doing combat music the whole time we've been playing, but you know what, Pem?
It's time.
Just this once. Yeah.
This fight's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to this. Not only the
This is gonna be a good
unusual enemy type, but the
one. Our
prospect
first
of
level 3 fight.
and the prospect of possibly getting revenge on that hobgoblin is gonna be oh so sweet. We that hobgoblin had a name too. I forget what it is though.
Yeah, I don't have any of their names down.
I am pretty certain I never gave him a name.
Oh, I'm thinking of the bitter.
Yeah, you're thinking of
Oh yeah.
Genji
But the bitter. This is the bitter's
brother.
relative brother. Okay.
Yeah, I never gave him a name.
Hmm. Well, we'll find out what his name is when we kill him and search his wallet.
I'll ask him what it is, and then I'll cut out his tongue.
There you go. Yeah.
Mm.
Awesome. Well, that's better. Yeah.
If you guys want, I can add in the hobgoblin, and if it gets to be too dicey, I'll just remove him from combat.
No, I think the way you're handling it is probably the best way. Where if we do survive this fight, then one of us can fire. We can throw something at him to get hit to aggro him or something.
All right. Because technically, with all the stuff that I've given you guys, you should be able to handle this easily. But at the same time, I don't know if this will do too much damage to you.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Dan, just because I don't think we've really paid a ton of attention to it in previous fights, and I think I'm going to be doing a lot of movement in this one. Are we doing each grid here is 5 feet?
Yes, each grid is 5 feet.
Good call.
Because it throws me off, because the grid, I assume, is on the map and not in Fantasy Grounds. So some maps...
It's on the map. I apologize for that, but all these...
No, it's no problem.
Sepegu
I just
maps
wanted to
have...
make sure.
Yeah, all these Sepegu maps have special grids that they have.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked into it. I know that you could, but I haven't looked into how to incorporate the maps themselves into the Fantasy Grounds so that they're automatically gridded through that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that. I prefer having the obvious grid from the map over fiddling with Fantasy Grounds for now.
Yeah. That's why sometimes, if you have noticed, when you're doing your targeting, they'll show like 45 feet when you're just like 4 squares away. That's why.
Yeah, because it's very strange. Like if I target Goji is 30 feet away right now.
Yeah.
Just by being just 1 square off.
Oh, I forgot my club has Thunderstruck.
Oh, you got your new fancy shot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I found out, speaking of, because we weren't speaking of it, but I found out the maximum number of sound effects you can have on your soundboard without paying for the nitro stuff is 3. So I had to get rid of the Kool-Aid Man sound effect to be able to add Vrisdan's. Yeah, to be able to add Vrisdan's one.
Yeah.
Woe is upon us.
Yep. And I suppose if I wanted to, I could pay for nitro, but I'm just happy that we have a sound for each character. I think that's pretty great.
I think it's good enough, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we should have to pay for more unless we're doing like a whole new campaign.
And that Kool-Aid Man was loud as hell anyway.
It was pretty loud.
It was always like 60% louder than everything else.
It was working as intended.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
We are ready to rock and roll then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me see here. It has a range of 80 feet. Okay. Why did I use that dice? No. Okay.
I did
it's
not say
going.
that.
That was me. That was.
Oh, yeah, it does say GM there. Are you copying me?
I did not copy paste, but I suppose so.
Somehow it
That's
says
weird.
that you
You
said
might
it
have-
as Vrisdan too, which is weird.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's because I
You
was.
might have clicked on the message and then, yeah.
That's what I did. I was trying to stop the stupid dice, the
Mm.
D20,
Yeah.
and I clicked on your message instead. Okay, going for Goji.
Bring it.
You got this.
That's definitely a miss.
Easy.
Yeah, easy miss.
And the nice thing on the fact that they're on the back of the ogre, they don't have to move.
That's true.
Don't have to worry about that myself.
All right,
Futon, it is
Futon,
your turn.
fuck him up.
Get in that cloudy, black, oily water.
Futon,
Um,
if I was a hand-to-hand combatant, I would run away from this fight.
Bro, you are a hand-to-hand fighting.
No, I know, but just
Basically.
like an unarmed. That's what I meant to say. Unarmed fighter. I'm gonna go up there and punch this ogre in the dick.
I mean, the height's there.
That's true. It's eye level.
I think I'll move a bit closer, but I'm not going to go all the way.
Okay.
I may as well throw a dart at the ogre while I'm here.
Sounds good. And who is that on? The ogre?
Oh, I forgot to click. Yeah,
Or you can just say it.
yeah.
The ogre. Okay.
Yeah.
Me being stupid, I closed the stupid book. That's a hit.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And that is.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
And that's it, right?
Mhm.
Vrisdan, it is
My
your
turn. Gang, new spell time. New spell dropped.
Knock us out.
I cast Spiritual Weapon.
Ooh.
Again, do I have to say what it means? Y'all know? Did y'all use this in Baldur's Gate? Or are we unfamiliar
Yeah,
with this one?
probably. You might want to read it just so I can remember.
Okay. You create a floating spectral weapon within range that lasts for the duration or until you cast the spell again. Duration is 1 minute, no concentration. When you cast the spell, you can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. On a hit, it does 1d8 plus my spell casting ability damage.
Oh yeah,
As a bonus action, you can move it and repeat the attack. Move it up to 20 feet and attack again within 5 feet. Weapon
Cool.
can take whatever form I choose. I think it is a spear wrapped up in all these black, like, vines and wiry looking things.
Cool.
I'm
Sounds
gonna
cool.
put it right in the water near the ogre, and then I'm gonna hit the ogre. And I get to find out how this works. Did it add like a new weapon to mine? No. An ability thing? No. Okay, it did not give me any sort of like special attack to make, I don't think, so. I guess
Okay,
I'll just
so we'll
roll.
just do
Just roll a
do
regular
straight up
melee.
roll.
Oh, well, I should attack first, huh?
That would help.
I'll just roll it as like a saving throw, I guess, because that'll add the right proficiencies anyways. Does an 11 hit?
That hits.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, now I get to do damage.
Holy shit!
Damn.
9
That's
points.
a much better roll. 9 points. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because that is a bonus action, I'm going to use my main action to cast Sacred Flame. Also on the ogre. Oh, does he have like? Oh, did I target myself too? Whoops.
No, it's
No,
targeting
You
the
did it
ogre.
right. I think you did it right.
No, it's targeting the ogre.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
got enough.
And
Oh,
it failed
I guess it did
both saves.
two.
Looks like.
Yeah. Another 6 points of sacred flame damage.
Sweet.
And
Cool,
I'm
I don't have to-
skedaddling. Bye, guys. You got this, right?
Yellow.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, that's my turn. How do I end it? I hit the flag.
You hit the little
No.
triangle. Little arrow.
Oh, I see. Bonk. There we go.
Okay. So I'm going to, from where I'm at right now, take a crossbow shot, but I want to use menacing attack on the ogre.
Okay.
But I think I have to attack first, then use the maneuver. This is my way of saying I'm not sure I'm going to perform this
Hold on.
correctly.
Let me open up your character's thing.
When you hit, so you don't have to use menacing attack until you actually
Until
hit
I
the
actually
attack.
hit. Right, that's what I
There's
thought.
no risk of like a wasting.
So I'll roll for attack with the crossbow first. 12.
That's a miss.
A miss? 11
That's
was a
definitely
hit.
a miss.
Really?
It
I thought-
says 12. It's a miss.
Huh.
Its
then
AC is higher than-
How was Vrisdan's 11 a hit?
Because that was
Oh,
a
that was a
wisdom
save
check.
against wisdom. Oh, gosh. All right, well, then that's...
No, it's not. That's an attack roll.
Yeah, that was my attack roll.
Yeah, mine is also an attack roll.
But it was against his wisdom saving throw versus mine was against his armor class. So that's what I was confused about. I was like, well, 11
No,
hit.
mine is also against his armor class.
Explain
No,
this,
it was a
Mike.
dexterity. Your spell was against
Sacred
his
Flame is
dexterity.
the thing, but the spiritual weapon is a melee spell attack, which means it's against armor class.
Oh, you rolled it as a wisdom.
Yeah, because I said I don't have. It didn't give me like an attack on my wisdom since I cast the spell.
Oh,
So I
okay.
rolled it as a wisdom save when I asked you if an 11 hit.
Oh, my mistake. That did not hit.
Oh, okay. Well, take away.
But his
what
Sacred
was it?
Flame did.
9 damage
9.
if you want.
Okay.
Okay, so then
My
I
mistake,
I
then.
just straight up missed, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, then fuck it.
It's your arrow, your bolt struck against the fortification above its head.
Damn.
And it's in addition to the many other bolts and arrows that are stuck to it.
Okay, then I'm going to move that distance closer to the target. 30? How many? Wait, each square is 5?
Each square is 5.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, that works. Okay. And then, because I am a badass, I'm instantly going to take my action surge. So that I can do the same thing again. Attack with crossbow and hopefully use a menacing attack if I hit. Does that sound correct?
Yeah.
Alrighty. God damn it.
Sorry, Peb.
Well, I'll still use a move here. And go to there. And then I forget what we said. Switching weapons requires a turn, or is it a bonus action?
I would require a bonus action.
Bonus action. Okay, so then can I switch to my Great Club at the end of this turn, or do I need to wait for the next turn?
Your action surge was a bonus, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep. So I'll
Then
wait,
you would have
till
to
next
wait
turn.
till next turn.
Okay. Then I'm standing there literally 6 feet away from this thing with a crossbow in my hands,
Yeah, do you want to take back that movement?
waiting to get smashed on the head. No, I'll deal.
Okay.
Those 5 extra hit points will keep me safe.
True.
Oh, I'm sorry. You already moved up to the next turn.
Futon, it is going after you.
Okay.
Yeah.
One sec. I think I can react
Okay. Yeah.
This.
Go ahead.
Check.
I mean, just so you
1d10.
know, you would only take 2 damage because of your monk absorbed it.
Well, I might be able to have a bonus. If I get it down to 0, it's even better. Then.
Yeah.
Oops. Five plus dexterity. 2. I mean, that's probably good enough anyway. I don't have to do the maths, do I?
Yeah.
So what was
So
your?
you take no damage, right?
That was like a reflexive dodge, or what did you do?
Catch it. If I reduce it to 0, I can catch it.
You
Okay.
caught the bolt or arrow?
Okay, you're back to
Um,
no damage.
That's
Since
awesome.
you didn't take damage in the first place. With the athleticism that you did not know your companion had, he outright catches the bolt that came to his face and twirls it away.
Yeah,
And
Goji
it
can't
is-
believe this shit. That's one of the coolest things she's ever seen in her life.
It is now the ogre's turn.
Bring it.
Remind me, Vrisdan. Your
From my corner,
little...
I can only see Futon, so I'm gonna applaud at that incredible dexterity.
All you heard was like whizzing of air.
Yeah, like, damn, I didn't even see where that came from, and you caught it and you
And all
grabbed
of
it
a
out of the
sudden,
air.
there's Futon with an arrow in his hand. Not actually in it though, but grasped. Remind me, Vrisdan, your spear is just spiritual, correct? It doesn't have any kind of physical component.
Yeah, it's a floating spectral weapon.
Okay, the ogre is fucking dumb, so he'll take a swing
Yeah.
at it, and when he swings his big ass fist through it, he is confused and just stands in his position, and it is now the goblin's turn.
So,
And as this,
sorry.
I'm sorry, go
Nope,
ahead.
Nope, go ahead. My question is not important right at this moment.
And as this new round of combat starts, you begin to hear this low wailing siren-like sound emit throughout the slums district.
Uh-oh.
And can I have a perception roll from Futon?
Have we alerted the authorities?
As you look up and try to determine where the source of this noise is, you look and see on the face of the female drow that she is disturbed by this noise and not very pleased. And presumably you can infer that this has something to do with her. Okay, and as we start the next round, the other goblin, so impressed with your agility, Futon, he wants to see if you can do it again.
Really? I would be like, holy shit, I can't hit that guy. He can literally catch arrows out of the air.
He was so impressed that the gods of dice said, "You need to test this shit again."
That's awesome.
Okay. Does that mean you can do it again?
I think so. Reaction.
It's a new round. I'll say that you have reaction
Yeah.
if you want to use it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me roll the attack. No, that's not it. It would be a 5.
Okay. D10.
Okay.
But it also adds dexterity and my level.
Oh, okay. Then you, whilst
Damn.
you
I don't know how
have
to
one
share it.
arrow in one arm, in one hand, you
If
notice.
you just tried, it popped up on my screen. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. Just so everyone can see it.
Yeah, I saw it
Yeah,
too.
you
Yep.
should
Yeah, I
really see
saw
something
it.
more.
Thank
I
you.
was just trying to read through it real quick, and I didn't see whether or not you could use it again. Anyway, as you have one arrow in your hand, you notice that the other goblin, whilst impressed, wants to test you, and you prepare yourself, and you manage to grab the other arrow out of the air, and now you have two hands full of arrows.
Goji is just roaring in excitement. She is fired up.
What do you do with your arrows, Futon?
One sec.
How do you track your key points, by the way?
In my actions, there's like a little thing I can do. It's
Click
like
on
I
it.
think probably like spell slots.
Oh,
It's
something.
similar to your dice, your
Superior, okay.
superiority dice.
cool.
By the way, Futon, I won't make you have to do a bonus or whatever action to drop those arrows if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I think I might just drop them now.
So this was the question I was going to ask earlier, and I stopped because it was silly. When it says that you catch them, theoretically, you could catch them
I think
with a hand. Could you
Huh.
catch it with your mouth? That would be freaking crazy.
As a monk, you can catch them with whatever means
Like you could just
want.
like you could catch it in
You
your
could-
armpit.
you
like,
could do- Bro, you could do some weird shit, jump up in the air and catch it with your butt cheeks if you want.
I mean, seeing somebody catch an arrow in their teeth would be just. I can't even imagine.
That'd be pretty baller.
I think that we would all like the enemy would just run away.
That
at
person would
point.
be my new champion. I would do anything.
Yeah,
they
no
asked.
kidding. Everybody on the other side would just give up at that point.
The two goblins put down their bows and just walk out the tunnel. Have a nice day.
They're like, we work for you now. You've impressed us so much, we're changing sides. Have a nice day. They just scurry away, hoping for the best.
We came, we saw, we're out of here.
Yeah, we're out of here.
Did you make the roll, Futon?
not yet. I'm just looking at something.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if my game froze or something.
Reading up your martial arts stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I know I'm a badass, but how badass can I be?
How badass can I make this first session of badassery
Mhm.
go?
Okay, so I'll use my hammer.
That's a miss.
But yep. I'll do Fury of Blows.
Yes.
I could take 2.
Oh my god!
It's over. Caught 2 arrows and crit. Futon is these goblins' new god.
If we can fit the ogre structure on Futon's back, and then the goblins can ride around on Futon's shoulders, that would be awesome.
You guys have your pets, man.
Yeah.
I think this is it.
By the way, thanks for coming to my TED talk.
Okay.
Oh, and there's a deflect missiles. I could have done that. It would work out for me. And the second attack.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Oh,
Oh my god. This is just gonna keep piling on.
that's it now.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do 2. Oops. And that's the bonus action, so I'll mark the keyboard off.
Vrisdan, how can you possibly follow that up?
I didn't see it. I didn't know it happened. I still think I'm not gonna get around.
All he saw was this
Um,
monk jumping around with 2 arrows in his hands.
Yeah, I'm hitting with
You
my
saw-
spiritual weapon.
You didn't see the legend in the making. That's actually hit, yes.
Let's go. Yeah, it does actually have a attack roll for me here. I just didn't notice it before, so that might be.
Ah,
So it takes 4 damage there, and then same thing. That was a bonus action. Damn. That's my action. It succeeds. Back around the corner. You guys got this. You go. I believe in you. Don't want to be here. No, that's still pretty visible. You got this.
I mean, spiritual weapon is a pretty great way to conduct a fight.
Yeah.
All right, so I need to move to here and switch to my club, and that's, I think, my action. I don't believe I can do
your
anything.
bonus. Your bonus.
The club was the bonus?
Your switch to your bonus. Your switch
Okay,
to your
so
club
I can
is a
still
bonus.
attack then.
Yes.
All right, deal with my fulminating club. 19.
It definitely can't deal with the
Okay,
13.
that is going to include a
Hey, twin.
menacing attack.
Oops.
Oh, wait a minute. When I try, oh, I clicked on it twice. I'm sorry, didn't mean to do that. So it needs to save versus wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to throw
Oh.
a superiority dice? What do I need to do here?
You should just have to.
There we go.
I was looking.
The
I
ogre's
could
got to
have
make a
also
saving throw.
done a single
Oh.
bonus attacks before.
I
If I
think he
attack.
just needs to make the attack roll now.
I did.
Yeah.
That's that 19.
Yeah, you attacked and you hit.
I mean, your damage roll. You need
Damage
just-
roll.
just
Yeah,
oh,
you
and it was a
roll
critical
damage.
too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oops. Wrong button.
Wow. Okay.
So that's
And
the bludgeoning and the lightning, but I don't see
Yeah.
the menacing.
It
No.
might be because you did the superiority dice afterwards.
Yeah, I might have done it in the wrong order. In any event, it needs to roll a. Yeah. It had to beat a DC of 10.
DC 10? Okay.
Yep.
And it's frightened, correct?
It is frightened for the remainder, as long as I'm in line of sight. Sorry.
Okay. And anything else?
Until the end of your next turn, it's frightened.
Oh, there you go. And in my next turn. No, that's it.
Okay.
This is so frustrating. I need another hard-boiled egg.
Hard-boiled egg. What are you doing, Futon?
He's such a legend.
You
He's
think
such a legend that he's got a flipping
He's watching TED Talks and boiling
machine-
eggs.
scene in the back of his
You-
backpack with eggs boiling away.
Yeah.
you think this level of acrobaticism comes
It's
without
sufficient?
vigorous training and a healthy diet?
And incredible multitasking skills.
Yeah,
This guy's plugged
you
in.
got to stay fed and active and limber and shit to do that.
Hmm.
What better than a nice boiled egg?
Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. Okay. Does the 10 hit you, Goji?
I have AC of 16, so no.
Okay. Alright. And it's the ogre's turn. Now, how do I...
Okay, I looked up reactions. It's 1 per round,
One per round. Okay.
which is fine because it was the second round.
Yeah.
It happened again.
I do like the idea that one goblin fired an arrow at you, you caught it, and the other goblin was like, "No way!"
That was a fluke. That was a fluke. I got it.
I got him for sure. He can't do that twice in a row.
Okay, frightened. And then 1. Okay. So that means I take disadvantage on attack rolls, correct?
Frightened? Yes.
Okay.
Attack rolls and something else, but it's not important at the moment. Menacing attacks. Let me just read up on it.
Okay. This one's going for Goji too.
Bring it. Um, 13 does not beat 16, so that would be a miss, yes? Unless I'm
Yes, that's a miss. Okay, so it misses. It's so scared that it just slams into the water, causing oil and black water to spray up. And it is now a new turn.
This motherfucker didn't know who he was fucking with.
And as this new turn comes up, you all can hear metallic sounding footsteps from the direction opposite of where you are in the room.
So over
From
on the
over
east.
here.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Metallic sounding footsteps?
Yes.
Ugh.
And it is now the goblin's turn. This one's going for Futon. That's definitely a miss.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Futon, it is your turn.
I'll attack again.
Yeah.
Oh. I was looking through there. One of my martial arts things, I can use a bonus action to do another attack unarmed anyway. Which I should have been doing in the first place, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, so that's it.
Let's go. Hey, how are things? Oh, you're both still alive. Sick.
We're still here.
And we'll start off with the bonus.
You're
action
basically like a
attack
drone
again.
pilot, essentially.
Whoa. Let's go.
Oh my
Damn.
god.
Wow.
Get spiritually critted. He's gonna have to go to confessional after that one.
Yeah.
He's down on a knee right now. So he's partly there.
I love that Vrisdan is fighting like a drone pilot. He's just hanging back in his remote bunker,
It wins. I'm
sending
telling you.
wireless
It's
commands
doing work,
to
man.
his drone.
It's-
Yeah.
It's legit doing work right
Mhm.
now.
Yep. Do I want to Sacred Flame again, or do I want to go check out that sound? Or do I want to run to a different tunnel farther
Or
away?
do you want to
from
do
the
Sacred
sound?
Flame and then move to check that sound?
Well, yeah. The thing is, if I Sacred Flame, I might not have the movement speed left to get back to safety.
Mm,
I mean, I think between Goji and Futon, we're gonna crush this fucker on the next round if we don't crush him.
That's
this time.
true. But that requires me to sit in the open for a full round of attacks.
Oh, that's true.
Come on.
He's taken a
I've been
lot of
doing
damage. Yeah.
Peak and shit the whole time. What a waste it would be if I lost all 5 of my temporary hit points at this juncture, you know?
When there's
Who could
still a
allow
hobgoblin
that
to
to
kick the
happen?
shit out of.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna Sacred Flame him. I don't think he's got a very good dexterity.
Oh.
3 points. Watch. If he dies next round, it's because of those 3 points I did for
Mhm.
you. You're welcome.
it's totally going to be because of that.
Might be this
I
round.
guarantee it.
Goji can
I
land a
guarantee
hit.
it. I'll go back into my little hidey hole.
All right.
Goji, what do you do?
I'm gonna swing the great club and hopefully hit. 19 is
That
a hit.
hits.
So I'm going to use. Yeah, I'm gonna use. I love it. I'm gonna use trip attack. I wonder which way is the best way to do this.
Try just using trip attack, and then roll your damage. See if
Okay.
that works.
Yep.
Yep, that works. And
He's dead.
Dude is.
you don't even need to trip it because he's dead.
I
I,
told you.
as-
I tripped a dead
Gets
ogre.
those 3 hit points.
All right. He's dead. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You take your great club and with precision, you swing it in such a way to hit it underneath its right knee, where it had been having it as a support to keep it above the water, and cause the creature to fall down prone upon the floor with its barricade smashed against its head on the way down, killing it. And the goblins have now spilled out of the barricade.
Okay.
And
I have
let's
a.
just say,
Are they nearby? Within.
let's just say this goblin's here,
Yep.
and let's say this guy got tossed all the way.
Oh, he
over
got
here.
tossed. Okay. Now I have a bonus action possibility, which is the thunder. I can't remember the name of it now. God damn it! What is it called?
Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck. Yes. 3
You
charges.
did.
I can use it as a bonus action after the great club strikes an opponent. Oh! But only in the target of my attack. So since he's already dead, it doesn't work against anybody else. Okay. Then to make sure that I don't get stabbed in the back by the. Oh wait, this might. If I move to here, will that cause
No.
an opportunity attack? All right.
No, it won't.
But I'm going to move there so that if that hobgoblin is still in that passage to the west, he doesn't have my back to him. And that's going to be my turn.
Okay. I will go ahead and say that these two are prone. So this goblin is going to take half his movement to stand up. And what is this again? He will go ahead and use his nimble escape and move away 3 squares as a bonus action. And then he's gonna take
Coward.
aim. Well, it's a goblin.
Yeah, Goji. It's not. That's not beyond Goji taunting, though. Goji could be fighting a rabbit and she'd be taunting it.
Darn it! I did it again. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, 7. Do you want to use your key to dodge that one?
I mean, why wouldn't you at this point? It's the end of the
Yeah.
round. Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's D20. Oh, I pressed the wrong.
Oh, that was an attack roll.
One sec.
Gotta catch the arrow before you throw it.
Oh, yeah, that's the throwing it back. That's 2 plus. What was it? Dexterity.
7.
That's exactly enough. Let's go.
Yeah.
Damn, Futon
Jesus,
is
dude.
immune to ranged weapons.
He's
That's the
unable.
whole point, man.
It's nuts.
Biggest bane of the goblins, man. Meanwhile, we got the cleric and the fighter over here on the ogre.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The
It
French
is-
wish they had you for the last 1,000 years.
right.
Immune to ranged. They would have taken over all of England if they had Futon on their side. Those longbowmen wouldn't have had shit.
Okay, as this new round starts, from the
Oh yeah. I'm so amped up.
No way it catches 6 in a row, right? And he takes another shot.
Well, I was thinking like it was gonna be like
Real Art's
professional
gonna run out
wrestling, where
eventually.
like they're gonna be like, "That's the Hobgoblin's music," and then he comes down.
Oh. That would also be pretty dope.
Oh my god, I can't believe it!
Well, I apologize.
chair?
He's on the top rope.
There is metal. I apologize to be the source of disappointment, but no,
Oh.
it is not going to be that.
Okay.
From
All right.
the eastern passage into this large room, you see a group of metal figures, short in stature, and with the lighting, you cannot tell from your distance what specifically they are, but they seem to be all covered in metal and basically sprinting as fast as they can in the direction where Goji and Futon are currently fighting.
Okay.
And it is a sizable group.
And there's they don't have any insignia or anything?
As you take a closer look in the brief time that you can while fighting, you can see that they are in grayish brownish armor. But there are no other telltale marks. You can see that their armor is clunky, very jagged as well.
Well, I mean, Goji's limited amount of processing power that isn't being spent on fighting these goblins doesn't imagine there's much she can do about these guys until they actually get within melee range anyway, if they're going to be a threat, so she's probably going to ignore them and continue bashing goblin heads.
Okay.
Does Goji Ram's head mean you literally have RAM in your head and that's what you're using to do this combat? Man?
I gotta switch out my sticks for a higher capacity RAM.
Yeah, you gotta
We'll
use
upgrade you when you get to
bonus
the
action
surface.
just to see if his CPU processes
That's
that.
right. That's right.
The goblin, with his prone status, stands back up and does the same nimble maneuver as the other one and moves 15 feet this way
Coward!
and takes his own aim. Okay, don't know why the dice did that. And it will go for Goji. And it misses. And it is now Futon's turn.
Take your pick, bro. Whichever one you go for, I'll go for the other one.
I'll go for the one that's closer to me. Which one's that one? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
And
Holy
give it a pinch as well.
yikes.
Another one. Dead.
Damn.
In
This thing
the
fell out of a
murky
tree
water.
and you just walked over to it. Eat it to death.
Are you sure that Futon's not the one with the superiority dice?
That's the way it's going.
Futon doesn't need dice. Futon is just superior.
Yeah. Futon's superiority is baked in.
Yeah. Oh, cute fighter. You need some extra dice to do damage? Watch this.
Watch me catch 3 straight projectiles.
You missed the chance to say it's boiled with his eggs.
That's true. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Futon?
No, after normal, I think I can end it.
Okay. Where are these people?
Yeah.
The new ones.
Let me just.
That's what I'm thinking about.
They're over here at the moment.
Okay. Do
And
they
are
seem
there-
like they're doing anything now that they've run into the room, or?
At
Are
the
there as
very
many
instant
as you
that is your
pinged?
turn. Is there as many what?
Are there as many as pings that you distributed?
Oh, there's more than those pings.
Oh my god. Okay.
As you're looking in your instant of combat, you can see that they are not facing you, and they are looking straight in the direction where Goji and Futon are.
But they've like stopped running. They're not just blindly
No, they're still
charging
running.
towards those two?
They're blindly charging.
Well, fellas, you think you two can make your way? Excuse me, fella and lady. You think you two can make your way out of this pickle? Because I could just quietly back down the way we came, and I'll be all right.
I mean, are we having an in-character conversation here while we're fighting?
No.
If you really chose to, we could try.
Because
see how that goes.
I'll tell you, out of character, if Goji can kill this goblin on the next try, she's going to charge down that corridor to the west and try to kill that hobgoblin too.
Okay.
Unless these guards get these, well, I assume guards. I say guards, but unless these metallic figures get to her first, she's not done.
Okay. Oh my god, I turned and there's blood splatter.
Yeah.
God, I love not being able to see shit in Fantasy Ground. It's so fun. Well, since I've got a bonus action, I might as well use it. Vrisdan will move his spiritual weapon from this tile to that tile, which is exactly the 20 feet it could go, and then he will attempt to hit this this goblin. Yeah, no. And I have so many things to do with my normal action. I have no idea which to do. You know what? We're just gonna dash and we're gonna play our peekaboo game on this one, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Goji, because she's still conscious of that hobgoblin being back in the hallway and doesn't want to leave her back to it, she's gonna go here. And then with her club, take a huge ass swing against that goblin.
Yeah.
Critical too. All right. Well, let me just review really quick whether I want to use a superiority die. I don't think I do on this one. I think I'm just going to roll damage. 7.
That kills this last goblin, and as of the moment, the fight is over.
Yes.
Now, here's the option. You guys are extremely well off, much better than I was expecting to be.
We are kicking ass.
So, I'll give you the option now. Do you want to engage the hobgoblin or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The millisecond Goji looks in that direction, Vrisdan is sprinting to the ball to catch up.
Okay. Sure, let's do it. So, let me just look at what I have here.
Yeah, I'm...
Okay,
okay.
so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move you guys over here. Okay, so let's pretend that this is the tunnel entrance that you were going into.
Yep.
Because where that location is the side of the actual map.
Yeah.
And now let's see. Okay. Oh, you guys said something.
Or just shooting the sham orc.
It's a feel joy. Okay. I'm assuming Vrisdan is leading, and
I was the furthest away, so I
Futon
assume
was
if
the
Goji's
closest,
also going
yeah.
after this.
oh, I was going off of what you said. Okay.
Oh, you
Then
did start
position
sprinting,
yourselves how
that's
you
true.
want.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna say I think Futon should probably be, unless Futon made way for one of us to go.
Yeah, I think I was closest, but I think I would have heard Goji come running and just
Okay, so
jump out of the way.
I'll be here. Vrisdan, you
Okay.
can be wherever you want to be.
Okay. And while you're doing that,
Yeah, here feels fine.
I mean, this isn't gonna fucking matter. This thing's like half a CR. But
I don't care.
Okay.
We are gonna punish this guy
Um,
so hard.
So you all ran into this side tunnel towards the west part of the room, and you see the hobgoblin has actually started running away from you, possibly not only due to your complete slaughter of his mercenaries, but also to whatever is chasing whoever it is that that those mechanical creatures
Yeah.
are. And the hobgoblin has the first turn.
I just realized we were so possessed by bloodlust that we didn't look and see if that drow lady was still hanging out on her perch.
And I think it kind of warrants that he goes for Vrisdan.
Yeah, yeah. All right, bring it.
He takes his longbow and attempts to do a quick shot at Vrisdan, and even without looking to see if it hits or not, he turns and flees further down the tunnel.
Vrisdan slows from a sprint to catch up to Goji to a walk and just slightly ducks under the arrow.
There you go.
Smooth.
And Futon, it is your turn. And as you guys start to take your turns, you hear the clatter of metal and very loud splashes of water occur behind you.
Catch up. Try and attack.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Well, that flipping hurts. Okay.
And if he's
So-
not dead,
Not dead yet, but he's
I'll
close.
take a punch. Ah, is that a miss or hit?
That's definitely a miss.
Okay, just make sure. Need to end.
Oh,
Would it
Vrisdan,
be
what
fair to
do you
assume
do?
that while I've been running, I've been able to keep my spiritual weapon ahead of me, since it was already closer
was-
to it than I was?
It's just concentration, right?
It's not even
not-
concentration. It's just here.
Oh. Yeah, I'll allow that.
Cool. Well, I'll start with that. All reliable. Damn, a 17's a miss. This guy's fucking nuts. And then I will 5, 10, 15, 20. We'll move up here, and I will cast web in such a way that it only encases the hobgoblin.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Shit.
He
So
is
much for that.
restrained. Oh, I should have done that first because it gives me advantage. Whatever. So he
Cool.
is. You conjure a mass of thick, sticky webbing at a point of your choice within range. The web fills a 20-foot cube from that point for the duration. The webs are difficult terrain and lightly obscure the area. If the webs aren't anchored, the conjured web collapses on itself. Each creature that starts its turn in the web or that enters them during its turn must make a dexterity saving throw. So I'm sorry I did that early, but I figure it's all the same. On a failed save, it is restrained as long as it remains in the webs or until it breaks free. A restrained creature can use its action to make a strength check against the DC it just saved on. So 12. If it succeeds, it is no longer restrained. The webs are flammable. Any 5-foot cube of webs exposed to fire burns away in 1 round, dealing 2d4 fire damage to any creature that starts its turn in the fire. So basically, he's stuck. And I think restrained is mostly just you guys have advantage on attacks against it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That the advantage would be automatic when we roll, right? Because the game knows that he's restrained.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, I did apply it to him. A restrained creature's speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonuses to its speed. Attack rolls against it have advantage. The creature's attacks rolls have disadvantage. The creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay. So theoretically, to move within melee range of him, I would need to perform a dexterity saving throw. Is that correct?
Let's just say
No.
that Max did it in such a way where right in front of the creature, it is not
The webs
webbed up.
are. Oops, I didn't mean to select him. The webs are sort of like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Because that would be 20, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 would be up on this wall.
Okay, got it. So I could go 5, 10,
You could be-
15, 20, 25.
Yeah, exactly.
Target the hobgoblin. Assuming that this guy is like mostly dead, is there a button I can use for non-lethal attacks? Is there a way that I can switch that in the game, or do I just need to declare that?
We tried to figure that out before, but if you want to do non-lethal, we can just say that you are.
Non-lethal with the effort to give Vrisdan the killing blow if he wants it.
Yeah, sure.
Whoops. Oh yeah, I have advantage. Haha, okay. Cool.
That definitely flipping hits.
Okay, I'm not even going to bother with checking my superiority dice or anything. I'm just going to roll for damage. And I think this will be enough.
Holy Christ.
Yeah.
What did I do? Oh man, that is so much damage. Yeah, this guy is totally knocked out.
Okay. Yeah, so that's I don't think I'm gonna even take a bonus action. I might, now that I know that he's unconscious, I might turn around and face eastward, given that we're hearing that metallic marching sound.
Okay.
But Goji makes a motion to Vrisdan, like, "Hey, he's all yours."
So here's the
Vrisdan
thing.
nods.
You don't have very much time because the noise that you hear behind you is very quickly approaching you. So whatever you're gonna do to the hobgoblin, you better do it quickly.
Okay, can I ask a logistics question? Will the
Go ahead.
hobgoblin be knocked out if we engage in combat with whatever these things are coming up? Will the hobgoblin be knocked out when we're done with combat with them, that we could come back and retrieve him, or will he have woken up and scurried off?
He'll be knocked out for a good long while.
Okay, all right.
Especially with the amount of damage you just did.
Okay, that said, then
I will tell you right now, the amount of damage you just did is almost twice his health pool.
Okay. I think it's Vrisdan's call whether he wants to just slit this guy's throat really quick, or if he wants to take time and question him or beat the shit out of him or whatever. Goji's focused on the east end of the tunnel right now.
What do you do, Vrisdan?
That's a great question.
As you stand there and contemplate, you hear, if you look back on the map, let me just go ahead and move you guys back over there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Whee!
Oh, I can clear targets.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
As you look up at the map, let's ignore that there's a ladder at that side of walkway,
Mm-hmm.
and you can hear what seems to be those short-statured metal figures are attempting to scramble up the wall in order to gain access to the tunnel where you are currently in. It seems that they are almost to your position.
Okay. So if we were to encounter them now, we would be where we are on the map at this moment?
You would be in the tunnel. I'm
In the
just
tunnel.
I just
Okay.
moved you so you could see.
Okay, got it. So they're scrambling up the western side to get to. Yes. Okay, got it. Yeah. Again, I Vrisdan's call. I could totally understand if he wants to just slit the guy's throat, or if he would rather like.
Or you could just leave him there, see what happens.
We could,
Whatever
but
it is you guys want
that
to do.
guy's gotta fucking die. I think. I mean, I'm not
The
the
glory
boss.
is mine.
If they're guards, they
I'll
can
be
take him
the
away.
door.
Well, I
And
don't think.
distract them as
Are we
well.
running from the guards? I think if whatever these guys are, if they don't try to talk to us, I think we're going to be in combat again here in a second.
They're short. We can outrun them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could.
He can take the blame. The
Oh,
goblin.
he could. That if we left him behind, they would almost certainly stop to arrest him or something, right?
He's mine.
Well, yeah. No, I'm not saying that's what we should do. I'm just trying to think.
It's a suggestion. You don't have to
Yeah.
do that.
I think it's Vrisdan's call.
Yes.
I'm cutting his head off.
All right, let's fucking do it, man. Okay, Goji holds his hair and just like lifts him up off the ground so Vrisdan can get a really good look at his neck.
Yeah, perfect. I take off like my cape or whatever. I wrap it around his head so that I can catch it when it comes off, and I just start sawing with my dagger. as quick as I can.
Wow. Damn, dude.
As you're sawing away, you bleed out the rest of his life into the pooled black water. And you hear that finally behind you, one of the metal figures has finally climbed over the side wall of the pool of water, and without stopping at all, starts to sprint down the tunnel. And so do the other ones that managed to climb over it. And as you proceed, you finally manage to get to the point of its neck bone, and with some deft movements of your hand, you manage to cut enough away to allow Goji to rip the rest of the head off, while the preceding metal figures run down where you are. And from what you can see, these metal figures are of dwarven stature and are just moving in a straight line down the tunnel. And they don't seem to be aiming directly at you, just in the direction where you are currently are, busily hacking away at this hobgoblin. And you can see on the other side of the tunnel that there is more tunnel to go.
And is it the case that are these things clearly automatons, or can we tell that they're armored guards? Like, we can't see faces, it seems like.
You are currently in a dark space, and this is all happening in very few seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say you cannot clearly see what they are, and you need to make a decision on what you're going to do. You currently have a hobgoblin head in a cape held by Goji, with
that thing's flung over my
Vrisdan
shoulder.
standing in the middle. Okay, but with Vrisdan standing in the middle of the passage over his slain opponent. You're currently all in the middle of the tunnel. What do you do? What?
Futon's
with
gonna press
this group
himself
of-
against the wall.
Okay.
See if they go by.
Yeah, well, with Futon having taken the lead in that regard, Goji's going to see what he's doing and also try to press herself against the wall.
Okay.
Yeah,
the
sure.
lead middle figure keeps running, and as the two get into the wall, they get close to where Vrisdan is, and Vrisdan, with the very acrobatic move, gets on the other opposite side of the tunnel to that wall to get out of the way just in time, as the lead metal figure outright tramples over the corpse of the hobgoblin, completely irregardless of the webbing that there is. It completely ignores it, just keeps on trudging, with the companions at its back pushing against it as they continuously press forward, attempting to get to whatever destination they're trying to get to, and they proceed past you all and continue down the tunnel until you see them no more, but you can clearly hear them continuing to march on.
Wow, I can't believe that works. Good job, Futon. That was fantastic.
As you all gaze back from where the figures exited it, you look down upon your slain nemesis of the hobgoblin's corpse, and you see nothing of recognition, only a mess of guts and flesh, all flattened, very much in the same manner that would be resultant of Goji's cooking.
Aha! Oh. I cook like an army of metal soldiers stomping out flesh. That's how I cook.
Okay. Anyway, before we get into the XP and whatever, you all then claiming your prize, your head prize, you march out of the tunnel back into the previous room.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead and gain it back, because that was honestly, I was gonna get into that afterwards, but go ahead and give yourself inspiration,
I don't
because
wanna
that
rush
was
you.
okay. You all march back into the main room, and you look to where your antagonist was, and you see
Yeah.
that she is still there, but
Oh.
looking kind of harried. And she sneers down upon you, and she says, "I suppose we'll need to put this off for now. Mark this. You are not free. The lady will have your blood, and I will ensure that it is siphoned out of you at my leisure." And as she says this, she turns and very quickly marches away from the upper walkway entrance. And behind her, you see the same little flying shrouded figure that Goji saw previously.
Oh,
You cannot tell what it is exactly, but it follows her nonetheless. And you guys are out of combat.
Her route is completely inaccessible to us. Is that correct?
Yes,
Up
it
high
is.
on the wall.
If you look on the map, you can see this little
Yeah.
broken down section. I went ahead and took it as like a little broken off part of the upper part of the wall,
Okay.
allowing like a little passage from the main natural tunnels. So unless you can somehow manage to climb all that space quickly, you won't be able to catch her.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just I didn't anticipate catching her. I just wanted to make sure that it was truly out of reach.
Okay, and as I was saying before, Max, considering this was an actual nemesis to you, and you stuck to exactly how your character would act, I say you gain inspiration from that.
Very nice.
Okay.
And as for XP, let's see here. Now I gotta add the hobgoblin real quick.
None of us even took a hit during that, right?
No, because we
That
got
was
a
insane.
flipping dexterous motherfucker over here.
Yeah.
You each get 216 XP.
Okay.
And as you go sifting through the corpses, you gain an additional 400 gold, and the majority of it being coming from the hobgoblin, whose money bag happened to have somehow escaped the ravages of the foot treads of the metal figures.
Wow.
However, whatever good armor that he had is completely unusable for you guys.
Okay.
On the
experience.
goblins themselves, you find the normal weaponry that you would find: bows, short bows, short swords. If you wanted to take them and sell them or something.
I mean,
What was the experience again?
216.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm thinking 400 gold between the three of us is... I'm not even going to bother trying to pick up any short bows and goblin crap.
Yeah.
How do you want to split that 400? I think maybe 150 and oh no, hang on.
I'll take 100. You two can take 150.
Well, no, I was gonna say you should get the bigger share because you killed your
He got his head
nemesis. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, true.
All right, so 150 for me and Futon, and 100 for Vrisdan.
Okay.
Rich.
Okay. And going off the time, I would say we can go ahead and take a break now, and
That's
then
a
we'll
great
have
idea.
an hour and some change for the rest of the session.
Okay. Do you want to wait take a 10 minutes, or anybody need more than that?
Let's go for 10
Yeah,
minutes, and
10
then
is
we'll
fine.
see whoever
Yeah.
comes back by then.
All right, cool. See you in a bit.
If we're all good to go, we are post-fight state right now, where you guys are settling down, looking around, seeing all the blood spots that you managed to get onto this black water, and you witnessed the female drow running away from maybe not you, but possibly the metal figures. And now you presumably have the run of the slum district that you're in, whilst the slaves and Darrow workers come out of hiding and go back to their normal business.
Are there any slaves that are nearby that look like they would be conversant, or are they all kind of in a daze?
They're kind of in that daze of not having to work at the present moment and being able to rest without worrying about a combatant falling on top of them.
Okay, I was thinking maybe we could ask him about who that lady was, but okay. What do we think, group? Do we go in the direction of where those marching metal feet came from?
I kind of want to free some slaves.
How do we do that?
Well, there are slaves here.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
threaten them until they leave.
They'll just walk out of here to where?
I don't know. They can figure it out. I'm not that far ahead on this idea. I don't honestly. I don't much care where they wind up. I just kind of want to.
All right.
Upset the local economy or whatever.
Well, my only thought is if we're going to be going into the Durgar city and we're going to be asking the Durgar for help, should we really be freeing their slave force in advance?
They don't need to know it was us.
Yeah, I suppose we could keep it a secret.
If Goji, of all people, is opposed to it on intellectual grounds, Vrisdan is perhaps being too rash.
No, I don't think that Goji's
We can always come back.
opposed to. I think she's just thinking like.
Yeah, if it sounds like a bad idea to Goji, it's probably a bad idea, is what Vrisdan is saying.
Okay.
And so we can table it for now.
But I think much like our what's the word I'm looking for? Much like our run-in with the Hobgoblin, I don't think there's anything that precludes us from coming back and taking care of this when we have more information on what's actually happening around here.
Yeah.
That said, I am apparently pro-slavery as long as it's not me.
So it sounds like we're currently just exploring.
Yeah,
So you guys are
Mhm.
free to move around as you wish at the moment.
I think we all probably feel relatively safe that we've eliminated any enemies in the vicinity. We don't have to, stick close together. Oh, God, there's more to the north. Oh, my God.
Well, that ends here.
And we're not...
As you are marching downward to where Goji is, you see that there is another door towards that corner.
Oh. Hey, guys, a door. Should I kick it open?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Or knock? Knock. Knock, knock.
Okay.
You knock and you don't hear the same resounding open space as previously when you knocked.
Okay.
And you also do not hear a response.
And is the door locked?
But you do you check it and it's not locked, but you do hear the noise of what sounds like pressurized gas and running liquids as well as machinery.
I'm gonna open it.
Okay. And as you look in, you can see
Ooh.
that there is indeed a lot of pipe work and machinery and gauges within, and presumably in charge of handling the sewage that runs out of the city to be able to afford some kind of medium of living capability within the city itself.
Any green levers anywhere?
You search around and towards actually where you just were, you search behind each of those valves and levers, knowing that Bromroll made it so that the lever itself was hidden from plain view, and you managed to find this green lever amongst them, and with the easy grace of your practiced hand, you managed to turn the lever without affecting any of the other valves and levers. And as you do so, you hear a grating noise of what seems to be rock and concrete moved. And as you look towards it's not shown very well on this map, but as you look towards the eastern part of this room, you see a part of the wall move aside, and you can see that it does indeed have a passage further in.
Ooh. All right.
And assuming that you do not want to look around anymore, you all go in and proceed on your journey into Grextol.
Yeah, I think I've seen everything I need to see on this map, unless somebody feels differently.
Okay. And before we do that, I'll go ahead and share the actual map image. Which is...
Ooh.
Oh, actually, I think I need to open it up and so to make it
Yeah,
bigger, right?
I can't zoom in on it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Grave map marker. Share. Okay.
There we go. So we're entering the city proper now?
Yes, you're on the way to the city proper.
Okay. And we don't have any reason to suspect that anybody here will be instantly hostile to us, right? Like, we're just visitors.
You can
Oh, no.
assume that if you had not had the token that Bromwell gave you, any Dorgar would attack any unknown drow within the city.
We missed the rats.
I was actually wondering if you would go that way. But since I assume you have your tokens in a visible location on your body, you should not be automatically attacked just because you have a drow amongst your number.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just put this thing on my lapel. Like it's a I voted sticker.
A
Have you?
Yakuza pin.
Um,
I voted too earlier this year.
Yeah, I did that on Thursday.
I'm going on Tuesday.
Nice.
And I'm dragging my 18-year-old son with me.
Hey, all registered and everything?
Registered, yep. As soon as he turned 18, we got him
Dope.
registered. He was
Oh,
like,
nice.
"Oh, I don't even know if I want to go." I was like, "You have to go. I'm not going to tell you who you have to vote for, but I'm dragging you."
Them family moral values.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Citizenship.
So, as you all travel down the passage, you do hear more noise echoing down the passage, and it seems to be metal in its source. A lot of resounding, pounding, moving, and gears, uh, gears moving against each other of noise of metal being worked. And as you proceed forward, you also notice that the normal temperature that you've been experiencing has been on the cooler side, but as you move further in, it's beginning to warm up and rise in temperature. And finally, you reach the end of the passage, which, let's just say you had like a torch with you so that Futon could see.
Mm-hmm.
And you reach the end of it, and you see that it is a natural looking wall, but as you expect it closer, you can see that there are seams where the tunnel meets this wall. And as you look around, you also see a hidden lever, and upon pulling it, the wall itself moves to the side, allowing you access into the city itself, into an alleyway, it seems. And once the wall moves, you're hit by this waft of a much higher temperature of air, higher than what you've been experiencing. And as you step into the city of Blades, you are greeted by constant noise of movement and work and metal being processed. And you also are greeted by the smell of actual human waste and excretion and sweat and all kinds of normal smells you would find in a slave quarter. For you have entered a location in the city of the Durgar where it seems that they keep most of their slaves. And as you march down the alleyway, you look out and you see that you are indeed near where slaves are being kept. You can see all kinds of slaves, and around them, you can see their slave masters. Some of them not even being Durgar or Darrow, more like promoted slaves, so that they may have their own rations of better stature. And as you look around, you see that nobody really is paying any attention to you, and you can see that you are seemingly in an eastern part of the city, as you can see the city open up towards the west of where you're standing, where you can see these low height buildings, each of varying make, between whether it's concrete or marble or onyx. Some of them of higher stature of being actually made of metal. But you do not see where the potential noise of metal being worked is coming from.
How far above us is the cavern ceiling at this point?
As you look up, you can see that the ceiling of Dark Lake is slanting downward in a very quick pace. And at the highest, from where you are, that you can see, it would be about 80 feet above you.
Okay.
And at the lowest, as you look further down southward alongst the cavern where this city is residing, it marches down into about 40 feet.
Okay. And is there any? We don't see any signage or anything on any of the buildings nearby or around any of the slave working areas.
You look around and you see mostly just pens or ramshackle buildings where the slaves would be kept. You do not see any actual signs describing what a building itself is. You do see a marker further ahead of you, and on that marker it does say Dark Lake District with an arrow pointing further towards northwest of you.
Okay. Out of character question to the rest of the party. I'm trying to think beyond saying that we should find the green lever in the slums and beyond giving us the tokens and telling us that we should find members of his guild. Wrath Hunter didn't give us a specific person we should be seeking out, right? I don't remember that.
No, I don't recall.
Is there? So we're surrounded by slaves doing work and seemingly some hierarchy of slaves that are serving as lieutenants or overseers or whatever. Do any of them stand out with insignia or some other marker that would indicate that they're in like some higher position of authority? Goji's just thinking like, who do we talk to? Who do we ask where the hell we're supposed to go?
Yeah, as you look around, you do notice that there actually is a large hulking figure, very prominent amongst the slaves, one who is overseeing that they are sticking to their respected places of rest, and those who need to be working are going to work. And as you wander over to them, you see that they are actually a very large and grizzled minotaur.
Oh shit! Okay.
And
Nope. Sorry. Go ahead.
you see that they are actually really worn down. You can see that they are an old one, and even being as old as they are of sufficient strength to be able to keep their position over the other slaves. And you see that he wears a very low quality wear of tabard and trousers, and doesn't have much else on his person.
Okay. I was just thinking about this as you were describing it, and I apologize if I'm getting any of these details wrong, but the Duergar and the Drow are in opposition to each other. The
Correct.
goblins and the Bitter were working for the Drow, right?
Correct.
So the hobgoblin that Vrisdan cut the head off of was, by any like normal standards, taking a huge risk coming this close to the Duergar city to try to track us down, right? Like, there's no
Presumably,
reason,
yes.
no reason for him to be there other than he had gotten word that this is where we were going, and he was working presumably for the drow lady we saw up high to try to kill us. There wouldn't be another reason why he would be in this area. That doesn't make sense, I don't think, right?
If you
Just thinking out
recall back to the time where you were spying upon the masked figure upon the masked steed who was conversing with the group, from House Freybranch.
Yeah.
They were ordered to capture the escaped sacrifices at all costs.
Okay. All right.
So presumably
there was a directive from
you
that
are
really
worth
scary person.
enough. Presumably you are worth enough to risk an open attack from the city upon the drow.
Damn, we are. And we proved it by being badasses, too. Okay. Well, I'm guessing that this Minotaur is going to speak Undercommon, yeah? Vrisdan, do you want to take the reins of asking some questions here?
Sure. What do you want me to ask him?
We're looking for the guild of... What the hell was his guild's name? Hang on.
I will be honest, you didn't get that because I didn't think of it at the time.
Oh.
So,
but it would be
let's
reasonable
just
to say,
say,
like, the Metalworkers Guild or something, right?
yeah. Or you can also say the Union of the Blades.
Oh, that sounds way better. Ask him if he knows where the Union of the Blades is, I guess. Well, first, I guess we have to get his attention and make sure he's not going to try to kill us just for trying to talk to him, but...
Hearing that he is being addressed, he turns and he looks down upon you, and you can see a moment of confusion on his face at a drow addressing him. And then you can see that he notices the badge upon you, and he replies,
He says it's past the Dark Lake district, further in the city.
Okay. Any other points of interest nearby?
answering in question to what Goji says.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh,
I was gonna answer in what Goji asked.
if there are other points of interest. I mean, we don't need them, but just curious.
Yeah, well, what you just typed there, Tanom, is that in response to what Goji said?
Oh,
Or is it for me?
to what you said, asking where exactly they were,
Oh,
because he's not part of their
yeah.
He's not a
employ,
part of their
shall we
system.
say.
Do we know... I'm sorry, Mike's probably typing. I'll save my question.
And while he answers my next question, I will turn to my other two companions and say, he says we shouldn't really explore the city much. We definitely don't want to be in the southern part without being called there.
Okay.
Piece of. Oh.
He says we could find stuff. Hey, we can find stuff here. Scott, sorry. He says we can find most things that you'd want to buy in the merchants district, but our contact in the Union of the Blades should supply what weaponry we need.
Okay.
As for slaves, we'd have to talk to his master. So, if you want a slave,
Oh,
he's not
okay.
selling.
But theoretically, if we were trying to free slaves, talking to his master would be the first step, unless we were just going to kill his master and stage a slave revolt or something.
Well, that sounds likely.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like we need to go through the Dark Lake District to the Union of Blades headquarters. Is that accurate?
Let me reread. Yeah,
All right.
past the Dark Lake District.
I think northward we go then, unless somebody's got a stop they need to make.
I'm good.
All right.
Okay. The Minotaur, seeing that your business with him is done, turns
Yeah, I
his
think I might
attention
give him a
back.
little bow.
Should we throw him a gold
The
piece?
Minotaur, the Minotaur has. Okay, so we're actually doing the bow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Minotaur has an even greater amount of confusion in its face and does not know how to react to a drow bowing to him. And very, in a hedge-like way, tries to back away and return to his duties before any of his masters notice.
Goji elbows Vrisdan really hard in the ribs and is like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?"
It's a standard way to end a conversation.
Yeah, just don't weird him
among
out.
my people.
And as you discuss traditions of the drow, you march away to the north and try to find your way to the Dark Lake District, following the postage. Not the postage. The waypoint signs directing you to different locations of the city. And as you exit the slave quarter, you also see a sign pointing out the direction where you just came from, stating that that was indeed the slave quarters. And as you proceed, you continuously hear the working of metal. And as you look around, you also notice that in the middle of the passageways of the city, you see that there is actually grating. And as you walk past them, you can hear that there is a certain amount of depth within them. And you can hear that there is a resounding echo of nothing specific, more as in that there is a great vast space underneath you. And as you walk, you can also see that there is not very much trade as you enter the Dark Lake District, for you can only see the marching of the normal Durgar as you see them, and you can also see their slave attendants, as well as a very small amount of Darrow as well. But you do not see any large groupings of other races doing business here. And you also see that whatever trade there is, it does not seem to be staying here. It seems to be that they are usually being held in carriages and wagons that are constantly in motion in a southward direction. As you progress down the Dark Lake District, you do also start to notice that you're approaching the docks of the city as well, and you can hear that the commotion there is very little, as it does not seem that there is very much activity down that way. As you approach towards the center of the Darklight District, you do see that there is a large billboard, and upon it, you can also see different postings, such as the orders that you would see from higher officials. Some of it is written in Dethic, some of it is not written in Dethic, in a language that seems to be is what is used by the Duergar themselves to keep it private. You also see that there actually is a map, considering that this is a normal stopping point for whatever foreign merchants happen to be in the city. And this is a map that is available on the same website that I got the background map from.
Ooh. I dig it.
So you are currently around here.
Mm-hmm. Could you show us where we came in? Where did we
Let
get
us
into the
say
walls?
that you came in around here.
Okay.
Or actually around here.
Okay.
And you're currently progressing on your way through the Dark Lakes District on a westward direction. And you see that it's much the same. And amongst the workers that you see, you do not see very many Duergar themselves doing manual labor. Mostly just watching over their servants and slaves to ensure that their work is done. As well as, not only do you see the normal humans and dwarves and elves as slaves, you also see undead being used as manual labor.
Ugh.
And mostly you see them coming from the northward direction, from the docks.
And this is the first place that we've seen undead, right? We haven't seen them in the other parts of the city we've been in?
No.
Okay.
This is the first place. And it seems like whatever undead are mostly just carrying whatever cargo is coming from the dock.
Do either of you have any interest in seeing why undead are coming from the docks, or do we want to keep going?
It seemed
Probably
like
just
more
order.
slaves.
So we just keep on going then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vrisdan is not taken aback by any of this.
Okay. All right. Continue
Okay.
on.
And as you progress, you do not actually see any of the normal things that you would expect from a marketplace in a city. There are no stalls. There are no special buildings for actual selling of items. It seems more like this city is more in the business of outsourcing their services and crafts than they are in trying to be a major hub of trade.
And just as a reminder of the campaign setting, because we've had so many sessions now that have been stretched over such a period of time. This city is technically at war, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you were to be observant, you would see that none of their supplies or trades or anything like that is marching northward towards the Dark Lake. It all seems to be funneling down southward.
Okay.
The people that live.
Because if the drow or the goblins were going to attack, it would be from the north, from the lake, right?
Yes.
People that live down here do not hide from the sun because they are virtuous. Ah. Well said, Vrisdan.
So, okay. And as you progress, you keep going past, and you eventually find yourself past the major district section, and you find yourself where the resounding noise of metal being worked is coming from. Although it does happen throughout the city, this is where it seems where most of the work is being done to craft weapons, machinery, and whatever else that can be produced to be outsourced outside the city as a means of economy. And you walk past these buildings of foundry and blacksmithing, and you even see this one specific building that's much larger than the rest. And from within, you can feel this intense heat of a temperature that would be necessary to constantly forming and holding the metal to be in a certain stature and temperature.
Okay.
And as you walk past, all you can see is these Dorgar working away, and amongst the Dorgar, you do happen to see a short metal figure. And as you look closer, you see that it is not a figure wholly made of metal. In fact, upon closer inspection, you do see that it is in fact a Dorgar that's being encased in metal.
Whoa. Awesome.
And
Gross.
let's see here. Nope, not that way. Okay. And as you look closer, you can see that this Dorgar, that all these Dorgar are working on, are affixing to him metal platings of jagged and very rustic but solid metal all around the body, and attaching weaponry upon his arms. And all you can see is that this creature, if you can even call it that anymore, is passed out, presumably under the pain of all this work that's being done upon him. And you can see the following.
Whoa. That dude looks awesome. His shoulders are ridiculously high for where his head is.
I know, he looks like he was punched down in there. Get bro into yoga.
Yeah.
His spine needs to decompress
Yeah.
hardcore.
Okay. Is there anyone nearby that looks like they'd be in the mood to have a conversation?
You don't see anybody outright that's paying attention to you. They seem to be all busy with either working on that abomination or on further things inside the building itself. You do see that there is a Duergar warrior standing outside the building as sentry, but he has not been overtly watching you.
Do you guys think this is where we need to go?
If I had to guess anywhere was the Union of the Blades, it seems like this would be
one?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, should we try to talk to the guard, or should we just
Let's just
walk
ask them
in
if
all
they're working.
confidently like we know we're supposed to be here?
See what happens.
Yeah. Gonna try it? Just walk through the door and see if he tries to stop us?
You can
Alright.
get surprisingly far by looking like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. we're almost twice as tall as all these little fuckers anyway. Let's try it.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
we try to get
you
our
march
attention,
up
we get to
to
pretend we don't
the
even see him.
you march up to the building, and as you get closer, the Dorgar at the entrance hears you're coming and looks to you. And before he even says anything, you march on past him, and you can hear this startled exclamation behind you as you walk past. and you can vaguely assume that he is asking you or telling you to stop and exit the building immediately. And as you do so, the other Duergar within continue to work on their project, but the outermost one who has been supervising the work turns to you, and surprisingly, it is not a male, it is a female Duergar. And she does not seem pleased that you are interrupting their work.
Can Goji just flash the union token? Show that we, have somebody's blessing?
Okay. You do so, and she looks at it and she goes, "Strangers, eh? Well, I see that you have the medal of the Union, but you're not permitted in here."
Okay.
And as she says that, she waves off the guard from doing anything and looks very insistent that you should not be in there.
Okay. Out of character conversation time. What is it that we're trying to get from these people? We're anti-drow, apart from Vrisdan. We're pro-Duergar because they seem to be our ally, a natural ally against the drow. But there's no particular there's no particular Duergar that's been like Wrathhunter didn't give us a name. He didn't be like, "Hey, this guy's my bro, he'll look after you." He just gave us these tokens and told us to find the Union. What is it that we want from the Union? Are we trying to solicit their help to get us out of the Underdark? Are we trying to solicit their help to are we trying to volunteer our services against the drow? What's our goal here?
I have no idea.
Okay, my first thought is, unless somebody has
caught up with me, I thought we were just doing cool shit here.
My first thought is, unless somebody disagrees, maybe we're offering to help the Duergar against the drow. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
I think if we walk in and say, "Hey, we want to get out of the Underdark," they'll be like, "Yeah, okay, go fuck off." But if we're like, "Hey, we want to help the Duergar against the drow," even if we have our own motivations for doing so, they might be like, "Oh, you want to help us against the drow, huh? Well, we could send you to go do this, or this." I don't know how else we would approach them. And this feels like a conversation that we would have already had, but now that we're actually here, I'm thinking like, "Oh, wait, what the fuck are we doing?"
I was actually wondering when this would happen.
Yeah. Does it sound reasonable that we would be like, "Hi, we're here to fight the drow and we wanted to offer you our services"? Or are we just on a fact-finding mission? Are we just trying to get more information about House Fabronk, or...
So are you asking me what's...
I'm asking
to this Duergar?
I'm asking Max and Adam what it is that the party wants to do.
I mean, if we're trying to get back at the people that enslaved us, then maybe working with them might be getting closer to that goal.
That's what I would think, yeah. But we would be working with people who also seem to have slaves, which might be...
but they're not us.
True, but Vrisdan...
We're sort of trying to get revenge.
Yes, but Vrisdan, having demonstrated that he is super anti-slavery, I'm just wondering if he would be cool with going along with working for slavers to get back at other slavers.
Vrisdan is opportunistic enough for that, yeah, sure.
Okay. So then it sounds like we want to talk to this woman about... First off, tell her why we're in the Underdark. We've been captured by the drow, we escaped. And then volunteer to assist the drow against the... volunteer to assist the Duergar against the drow? Does that sound like a good jumping off point?
Yeah.
All right. Goji's going to say that to this woman, unless Vrisdan or Futon would care to take the initiative in the conversation. She's going to say, we are escapees of the drow. We were their slaves and we've escaped. Through multiple hardships, we've managed to make it here to your city, and we wish to offer our services against the drow here on Dark Lake.
Okay. When you say all that, she gives this tilt of her head, wondering how it is that you came
Why the fuck
to
we're here?
have their token, the token of her union.
Oh.
But she nods and says, "Well, I see that you've been through a lot, but this is not something that I can help you with, and frankly, I have no desire to. I'm busy with my work here, as you can see."
Okay.
And
Goji cuts her off. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. And you can hear this loud squeal of pain 2 rows back as another of the abominations is being worked on. And after that squeal, she says, "However, if you really want to speak to somebody that can help you, you'll need to go down the street, go past 2 houses to the left, and turn right past that, and you'll find that the house of what was the name of the house of Durna Thuldark. He is the head of the merchant council within the city."
Dual Dark? Is that what you said?
Thuldark.
Thuldark. Okay. Okay. And just before we turn around and march in that direction, Goji's just going to drop Wrath Hunter's name and see if this woman responds to it in any fashion.
She looks very surprised at you dropping Wrath Hunter and questions you as to how you would know one of the most prominent forgesmiths that was outcast from the city.
Goji takes her great club off of her shoulders in a way that looks more menacing than not, but upon getting it into both of her hands, she holds it out to the woman to show her the Deathic runes that have been carved upon it.
She inspects the weapon and, with a very appreciative nod, she states, "That's a very impressive weapon. I can clearly see it is indeed the work of Master Wrath Hunter. Once you reach Master Thuldark, I would suggest that you mention that you have personal connection with Master Wrath Hunter. Although, I will go ahead and give you this warning that you should not say such a thing around any of the King's Guard."
Oh, okay. Good to know. Thank you.
And she nods and turns away back to supervising her work.
Okay. Hope we don't have to fight all those little freaky abomination things. All right. Do you guys want to march out of here and go find Thuldark's home/work, whatever building it is that they're occupying at the moment?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Let's go that direction then.
Okay. As you march out of the building, right before you reach the threshold, you hear beneath you a rumbling, massive, almost gigantic steps being taken underneath you. And it comes closer and closer. And you can tell that whatever is underneath your floor is approaching this building. And as you watch, the grating across from you on the street is being lit from underneath and is also progressing in your direction. And finally, the movement that you can hear and practically feel passes underneath you into the building. And as you turn to look at the source of the movement and sound, you do not see anything. However, you suddenly hear this immense roar of not just a creature bellowing, but also fire being spilled upwards from the floor grating underneath that is at a boundary location, lighting up the heat that was there into a higher level and allowing for further work to be done. And once the spectacle of the fire is done, you can hear whatever creature is underneath move onward on its route.
Dude,
And
this is awesome. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever encounter whatever the hell is down there, but that's cool as hell.
and once that is done, all three of you, presumably a little shaken, march out of the building and continue on your way to find Master Durna Thuldark's home. And as you progress, you march down in the directions that were given to you and find their home. And outside this massive alabaster made wall, you see that there is a gate, and within it you can see a building of also alabaster, presumably where you're trying to reach. And outside the gate you find a pair of minotaur, fully decked in metal breastplate, and each having a massive axe within their hands as sentries.
Okay. Approaching the Minotaurs, we'll show our lapel pins, our guild signifiers, and mention that we're here to see Master Thuldark.
The closest minotaur nods and enters the building premises proper, and presumably goes to inform the master of the Merchants Guild. And as you wait, you stand there in presumably uncomfortable silence, whilst the remaining minotaur just watches over you, ensuring you do nothing funny.
Mm-hmm.
And after some time, the minotaur returns and beckons you within, and only asks that you draw no weapons, for there will be more sentries within, ready to give a lesson if necessary.
Okay.
And as you march in, you are let inside the building, and you can see that within this building, as like outside, it is almost as Spartan within, even if it is owned by a merchant. You see that there is not very many furniture. All you see is walls of alabaster, probably hit their own method of showing their own wealth to this city. And you only see no servants of the customary maid-like or butler-like, but rather you see many sentries, not of Minotaur, but other slave races. And as you progress, you are being led by the Minotaur, and finally you reach one of the innermost rooms, and within which you see a female Durgar with silver-plated hair down their sides and a bald pate at the top, wearing this white surcoat, on it having the symbol of the Union of Blades. And you see them working diligently on paperwork, presumably whatever calculations are necessary for her job as the head of the Merchants Guild.
Okay.
And as you enter, the Minotaur closes the door behind you as they stand in the corner. And the merchant, without looking up, inquires as to what it is that you seek.
In common?
In common.
Okay. Okay. how much? This is out of conversation party banter here. Sorry, out of character party conversation. How much information do we want to reveal here? Do we want to tell her that we were enslaved by the drow and escaped? Or do we just want to tell her that we want to work for the Duergar against the drow? Like, what should we be revealing?
I suppose we could see how it goes. If they need a reason, then we can explain, but if not...
So keep everything
Keep
close
it.
to the vest?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
if we need to explain that we escaped, let's say we escaped as like fighters instead of captured slaves.
Okay, so they never even got the drop on us. We just beat them off. And then ran off into the Underdark on our own.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Shall I take the conversational lead then?
Yeah.
Okay. Master Thuldark, we are 3 adventurers who have been fighting against the drow, despite one of the drow being amongst our number. No affiliation. We have been trying to... we've been hunted by them and are trying to defeat them and escape their clutches, and we thought that speaking to the Duergar, their sworn enemies, we might be able to offer you our services. We were sent in this direction by Master Wrathhunter, who gave us these tokens.
At your last sentence, he abruptly stops whatever task he's been working on and looks up to you, giving you her full attention, and you can see that she is visibly impressed that you have something that originated from Bramble Wrathhunter.
Thank you.
And she says, I see. And how is it that you know Master Wrathhunter?
We beat the shit out of his trapsmith. No, we didn't actually beat him. No,
We did not harm.
Let me back up. I didn't say that. I thought it. What I actually said.
Good old Bort. I see he's still up to his old tricks.
She knows Bort. Damn it. No, I thought that. What I actually said was we solicited his help improving my club, and Goji again takes the club off her shoulders and shows Master Thuldark the Gethic.
As you do
Gethic
so,
runes.
the Minotaur at your back slightly
Oh,
prepares
shit.
himself in necessary movement, but he makes no further motion.
Phew, I forgot about that rule. Oh man, I should have just offered to let her inspect it while it was on my back. I wasn't thinking.
As you're holding it out, she's looking at it and having one hand raised to quell off the Minotaur. She says, that is indeed Master Wrathhunter's work. It is a very impressive weapon.
Thank you.
So you're seeking to work for us to fight the drow.
Yes.
And how far are you willing to go?
About 30 miles. And
Straight up.
that's in any direction. Z-axis, you name it. We'll go 30 miles. No, I mean, I think at that question, Goji turns and looks at Vrisdan and Futon. Like, how far are we willing to go?
Oh no, we've already killed.
I was just gonna say we've already killed a lot to get here.
No limitations, then, we'll say.
I see. Then I think we should put you together with a like-minded individual. Now, my question would be, what are your actual allegiance to?
Oh,
The politics of the city. Are you for the king or not?
shit. Okay, taking a step back, and again, out of character conversation, but one thing I just remembered is that we've actually had drow helping us occasionally, too. Which, if the Duergar found out
like
about
the
that,
one guy, though, right?
one guy and his team, he's got a few
he
people
had
working for him.
somebody.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which I think if the Duergar found out, they'd be pretty pissed, unless they have some kind of secret alliance. But the drow that we talked to, he didn't.
He seemed pretty independent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well,
We don't have to
think the two
volunteer
have to
that.
know about each other.
Yeah. But I was just thinking about it, I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute. We do have a secret we need to keep from them, so we can't just tell them everything we know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Mike, could you repeat the question?
What are your current political views on our good Duergar city? Are you
Right.
for our king or not?
Yeah. I am. We are.
As she sees you flounder and not in any kind of awareness, she laughs and she says, I see that you don't know anything about our political situation.
Yeah, I was about to ask you who you're in favor of.
And she sits back and she goes, I am interested as to how you do not know how the king banished Wrathhunter.
Oh, he did say he was banished, didn't he?
That is true.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Mhm.
So then we would probably get into her good graces by saying we are anti-monarchy. No?
In
Well,
theory,
let's let
we
her
would
keep
be.
talking. Let's hear what she had to
We're
say
on
about-
whatever side Wrathhunter's on. Yeah, let's hear what he has to say. But
Hmm.
yeah.
How was he banished?
He was banished
Well,
due to being loyal to our old king, the grandfather of our current king, who is current King Horgar Steel Shadow the Fourth.
That's the current
Wrathhunter and yes,
king. Okay.
Wrathhunter and most of so-called Old Guard were loyal to the deceased king Tongard Steel Shadow. And whilst the king was keeping a balanced situation within the city, he was more often than not controlled by the drow. And so our good, and when she says good, you can see that there is no actual good feeling within that word. King Horgar took his place from his dearly deceased grandfather. He chose to cull the old guard, whether or no they were of actual threat to him. Amongst them, he even banished one of our most skilled workers of the forge, that being Master Wrathhunter. Just as an example to the rest of the workforce that nobody is really safe.
So here's another out of character conversation. Do we think that? So it certainly seems like the young king is in opposition to the drow since he's fighting them. Was his grandfather, who Wrathhunter supported, also in war with the drow? Has the war continued despite succession?
Is this a question to her?
No,
or
I
amongst
think
you
this
three?
is just amongst the three of us. Like, what seems more likely, that his grandfather supported, or was in at least at peace with the drow?
You can always ask your resident Underdark expert.
Our resident
Would I
Underdark
know?
expert is Vrisdan.
Out of character, you wouldn't flippin' know.
I've never known peace between the drow and the Duergar.
Okay,
They could
all
change
right.
kings 100 times. Their next king could be a drow. As long as he's leading Duergar, there will be war.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Okay. Durna, she says, sorry, I'm trying to get back into it.
No, that's fine.
She
Yeah.
says, the current political situation here is everybody is trying to stay afloat and walk around this war that our good king has decided is necessary in order to retain his power. and you
Okay,
say you
cool.
wish
New
to
guy.
fight the drow. Your best means to do so would be to aid the king himself, which I could give you an introduction if you so wish, but I cannot guarantee you will be in the favor of most within the city.
Yeah, we don't want to mention. We won't get the same reception if we say we were sent here by Wrath Hunter when we talk to the king.
Or you may choose to continue to work in the good graces of my own guild and the associates of Master Wrath Hunter. And I can put you with somebody that can aid you in taking out your missions.
Okay.
If not physically, at least guide you.
Out of character question. Has the tone of this conversation been one where she's given the impression that if we were to get an audience with the king and not like what the king has to say, we could come back to her and she'd be receptive to us? Or is she more closely guarded where it's like, you know what, if you go and talk to the king, then our relationship is over?
I don't think you'd get such an impression from this conversation. I will say that you inherently know that Duergar are a very quote unquote dark race. They are not very reliable, they are not very friendly, and you take whatever interactions you do with them at your own risk. Now, if you want to know how she views you or
No, I
potential
don't want
future,
anything that
you would need
declarative.
to give me an insight
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that yet, unless somebody really cares to. But
roll.
I was just
From what
thinking
she
about.
said,
Sorry, go ahead.
from what she said, she's willing to give you an introduction to the king if you so choose, but it won't garner you friends.
Yeah, I'm thinking that trying to talk to. I'm curious to hear the king's side of things, but I think if we were to do that, we might shut ourselves out from help from this union going forward. What I'm wondering right now is, what do we think those marching suits of armor were? Were those the same thing we saw the guild creating those abominations in the guild hall? Whatever the hell that place was? Or were they the special guards of the king that we just haven't encountered yet? Because they seemed evil, whatever the hell they were. They seemed evil and dangerous.
Was that a question to me or
For
to
the group.
you three?
For the three of us.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
Okay. I'm thinking that I'm thinking that we don't. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, no, you first.
I was gonna say, it kind of feels to me like maybe we don't want an audience with the king, and we just take whatever work this woman can give us. But
yeah, I agree.
if
I don't think
Go ahead.
they'd have especially as newcomers, I don't think they would take well to us going around and politicking and
Yeah.
shopping around like, oh, sorry, I
Right.
got a better rate elsewhere. We're
Yeah.
gonna go with this.
Yeah.
instead."
I think the only thing that was giving me pause was, what if those weird monster creature armor suit things were the thing that they're creating? But it seemed like that was different. The ones that we saw in their refinery, whatever you want to call it, their factory, had faces, which the ones that we saw in the tunnel did not. Yeah, I think I don't think we need an audience. I think we'll take whatever work you want to direct our way, Miss Master
Very well.
Fulldark.
Very well. Sounds good. Then I will put you under direct control of one of our more recent additions to our group. One who has like vendetta, it seems, as your group. What you will do is you will march back out and go back to the Dark Lake District, and you will find a tavern. And you will find it close to the docks. And you will look for the tavern called the last fee bar. And at this tavern, you will find the point of contact that you have. And you will identify her as a human female, and you can address her as Alaric Shadowsbane. And I think this is a good spot to stop.
Okay, just to be clear, Goji kept her poker face there. She didn't gasp out loud the way that I just did. Ooh. Last C bar. Okay. Boy, what an adventure. So, just can we take a second and refresh our memories about what we actually know about Alaric? She's a human female ranger, bard. I don't know if I remember her class.
She is a rogue.
Rogue, okay. And she hired us at the direction of someone that we don't know, but she seemed to know, to hunt down this Etten and a bunch of other adventures with us. We killed the Etten, but in the process, we were put to sleep and captured by a shadowy figure that we only saw in silhouette. Alaric was captured with us and ended up in the slave pen with us. Is that correct?
Yep.
Because we
that's
talked to
all
her
correct.
and she didn't know anything about it. She was like, oh, I can't believe that this has happened. But she didn't have any other information for us. And that's the last we've seen of her, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh boy, we're going to get some answers. Maybe.
All right.
Okay. Well done, Mike. Thank you very much. That was a very fun session.
Thank you. I hope you guys all had fun.
Agreed. Yeah, this is a good one.
Some of the best combat we've had so far.
It helps when you can
Pretty
just
slick,
wreck
yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
I did say level 3 was going to be a big jump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was for sure.
Yeah, you took out
Alrighty.
all your fancy shit now.
Yeah. Like always, if you guys have any questions or suggestions, I'm happy to address them.
Okay.
And I hope we continue to each have fun with this.
Yeah.
And we'll see each other in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. The 16th, if everything
Yep.
goes well.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Later, everybody.